How dare you?
Why? He always does this. Just to rub it in my face. I can't even get out of this thing.
What? You got a Rancor too now?
His is bigger.
What?
Yes.
Yours has like big crazy horns and shit.
No, his is the cantina. His is the cantina.
Oh my god.
Edition.
Oh my god.
Listen, he has spikes. Listen, I'm not grateful. I'm very grateful for the adopted. He's got spikes. Look at him. Well, now he won't stop. He plays this game. Like I try to catch up to him, and then he just runs away. Stop running.
No, my brother is just the Tard Wrangler of the two of us. He has to lead us around and be like, "Come on, come."
Do you see his spikes? They're orange.
Yes, they are. Quite nifty. And yours has big gnarly horns. What are you crying about?
No, his are orange.
No, I get that he has the like spikes around his back and stuff that are orange and everything, but you got big gnarly horns on the freaking head of the Rancor you got. Pretty cool.
No, his are orange.
Did you want what? You wanted orange? An orange spiked Rancor? Would that have made you feel a little better?
No. Where are we going? I'm hungry. There's stuff at a gas station.
Own your truth. You know, it was difficult. It was at first. I mean, you just cornered me like that and everything, but you know, it's a little liberating now to know I can like Star Wars in more ways than I ever imagined. Dave Filoni is the savior of Star Wars. KK is doing an amazing job. The people out there are just blind and can't see it. So yes, thank you. I can stop lying now.
What? What the fuck?
Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to episode 94 of Saturday Night Sith. My brain suddenly went blank. Hope you're all having a wonderful evening. I am your host, Fractured Filter, and with me here is, as always, my friend, my partner, my compatriot in all this madness in the world that is going on, that we have come together for 2 whole years, which technically on January 8th is the official 2 years, but we're just 2 days shy. But we have been doing this shit for 2 years. I gotta say,
3.
I thought 3 as well, but officially, because I went back,
Who has it wrong?
Our very first stream. Hang on. I had this up a moment ago. I should have just kept it there. But yes, our very first Saturday Night Sith was January 8th, 2022. And here we are, January 6th, 2024. So yes, we have hit the 2-year mark. Been doing it for that long. My God, 94 episodes. So pumped. Let's keep on going, brother. And so with that all aside, Hitman, how are you tonight, sir?
Well, I was better, but I swear it was 3 years. I don't know why.
I think it feels like it's longer just because
Star Wars ages us.
Yes, Disney Star Wars has aged us, has done the Shang Tsung, ripped our souls out little by little. But yeah, so yeah, it aged us, I'll say.
Maybe it was just COVID and everything. Like COVID
it was
like.
Well, that was the lead up, right? Because we went through all that before. Because I was waiting until we got like settled in the new place. Then it's called, all right, we're doing this. Let's go. But yeah, 2 years, man. 2 years.
Well, here's to the next 3 or 4 or 5. So
whatever more the sky's the limit. The sky is the limit.
Not that I want to argue, but I just feel like I just really felt like it was 3.
It does. No, I'm with you 100%. I thought it was as well, but the thing in the old YouTube says otherwise. January 8th, 2022. So
yeah,
there you go. Whoops, there it is.
Well, aside from that, doing well.
Glad to hear
it. What a new year! What a way to bring in the new year.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. So
Star
much
Wars related.
No,
luckily,
yeah, nothing.
And I'm pleased to say that.
Yeah. But no, it's definitely brought in some interesting stuff. Why do I not have some of my? Oh, I accidentally turned off some of my UI stuff. Sorry. Let me get to the chat really quick here. Hello, Nerdy Neo. How's it going? He said, did someone mention Stargate? Yes, and I'll get to that. We'll get to that in just a minute. Static, hello, sir. Hello. And Shaka Zulu, hello. Fook Norris, welcome, brother. Hello. Good to have you all here. But yes, okay, so let's kick it off then with that. Since that's already being brought up so quickly. Yes, Jay Hitman here has never watched Stargate, at least as far as he has told me.
No, never.
So, and with the fact that, yes, this year we are supposedly getting Star Wars Acolyte and Skeleton Crew. You know what? In between, I think we need something positive, something good, something enjoyable, and also something to break old Hitman's Stargate cherry with here. So, yes, starting next week, we will begin on the Stargate movie with Kurt Russell and James Spader, and we will then start going into the going into Stargate SG-1. And we'll just start going and see, and you'll get to, and I hope you'll enjoy it. I do. I can't speak ahead of time that how far this may go and everything like that. I hope you'll enjoy it.
I must say that I thought, because I saw the thumbnail for the show, and I saw the Stargate. So here's what happened. Last show we were talking about doing Stargate, and on iTunes. If anybody's an Apple person, every Christmas and Thanksgiving they put stuff on sale. They'll like box it, they'll put stuff on sale. Anyway, so I found Stargate SG-1 on sale for $49. Was like, I'm gonna buy it. Held off until I got paid again, and then today I was like, oh crap, I gotta do it. So this morning I looked at it. So it went up to $99. I was like, oh god, this sucks. I was like, I'm gonna have to wait till I get paid again. But luckily I downloaded. I have
passed on the sale.
No, I did. But I have Amazon Prime, and
oh, okay,
and
it's on there.
It's free on there.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because I think we went over this a while ago that they were potentially rolling around the idea of a Stargate revival with Amazon. I'm just like, after Rings of Power and everything, I am not too hopeful with that idea.
Well, what I was saying was
on a positive.
So they have all the seasons free on there. So but I started watching it today, and I was like, it's just so funny because it's like, even
you started watching the movie or started watching?
No, I started watching the show, and so I was like,
oh, okay.
So I was like, it's funny because you and I can watch something that was done back in the 80s and 90s, like, oh yeah, that was acting of the time. But I tell you what, something like that acting is actually better than anything Disney's ever done recently. And like and it's just so funny because these guys are just, shooting their M16. Well, one is just hilarious. It's like, no, but everybody's oblivious to this. We won't go. I didn't watch a lot of it. I watched like the first 10 minutes of it. But how they're like, the girl's like, does anybody see this thing moving, the sheet moving? And the guys are just, so
Yeah.
focused on the poker.
They're all in that room just playing poker and everything, and
Yeah, and then like
and then slowly but surely things start happening. She notices, and the Stargate
what are
kicks
these
on.
bird people come out? And it's just funny 'cause
So
like
that's Apophis. So the guy in the gold, that's Apophis. He is God. I'm trying to remember everything, all the lore exactly, but he's the he's basically your big bad getting set up, and then the men that came out in the snake, the silver snake outfits, those are the Jaffa. Those are the basically the henchmen, the soldiers for Apophis, the Gaold. So but you get introduced to everything within those, especially those 2 episodes. I think they're called
it's like an hour and
Gods
30 for
like
2
that.
episodes, man. I was like,
it's like that's like their whole pilot thing too, and like they just turned them into like 2 like movies basically at the end of the day. But
it's just funny because they're shooting their guns and like they kill like 2 people after they freaking like they've emptied probably 200, 300 rounds into these people and just killed like 2 people, but like
that kind of also gets kind of pushed through the series too, is like why they also upgrade and update their weaponry so then they could start actually taking out Jaffa a little bit easier here and there and stuff.
I was like, man, all the Egyptian armor was strong, man.
Well, these are alien Egyptians, so
yeah.
Or who inspired the Egyptian gods and everything.
And then the classic, like, you had the classic general that like all of the like he's got his
Hammond
whole
of Texas.
his whole freaking jacket's full of just medals, which is just crazy because no military, like it's just fine. But
Hammond.
The guy leaves, the gold guy leaves, the office or whatever leaves, and he just looks like he just crapped his pants for lunch.
Well, yeah, they thought this thing was dormant, shut down. They thought, so that's why you got to watch the movie first. The movie kind of sets things up, and then the show took that movie, and they definitely like retconned some things here and there, but like they adapted it well, and still feels like it's all part of the whole. It's all part of one giant lore. So while they changed things, it's
still consistent.
for the right. It's still consistent, and they reference themselves like throughout all the seasons, so they always keep a pretty consistent timeline and story stuff here and there. So especially for the big stuff, there might be some small stuff here or there that maybe skirts by. But yeah, and I figured also with this whole idea of going into Stargate, to people that are interested, if you want to join us for the Stargate chats, by all means, you're welcome to. Just hit me up. We'll figure it out and bring people on that want to talk Stargate, because it's certainly a very refreshing topic over what current shit we've been all having to endure.
Well, okay, but what's Atlantis? Is Atlantis, because Atlantis was only 5 seasons, and is it later?
Atlantis comes way later. Atlantis comes about season 8, like 2 episodes in of Stargate SG-1. You got to get through like the first like 2 to 3 episodes of SG-1, and then it's about the right time to switch over to Stargate Atlantis, which to me, like I've said, is probably one of the best like spin-off series out there, to just like take the formula of the original, but then amp it up a bit with new characters and a new setting. And they do a really good job of it. Still the same good, consistent writing and stuff. Little stuff here and there were kind of goofy, but like otherwise they do a very good job.
I will say it was hilarious because in the opening scene, it looked like the dude was eating his cigar, and then he pulls it out, and it's just like, I thought it was a meat stick at first. I was like, so it's just funny. But I will say this. I mean, as you say, oh well, it's cheesy acting. I was like, I still think it's better acting than anything we got with.
Oh no, I thought the acting was fun. I mean, I think they do a good job of it, and
it was back in '98.
Yeah, Richard Dean Anderson, he kind of does chew some scenes a little bit, but especially more later on. Like once things get a lot more settled, and he kind of does, as he even said, like kind of lets more of his own personality out in through O'Neill. You kind of get some of that, but it doesn't like detract from it. And
So why
honestly, it is
first?
just from the overtime. The movie gets the groundwork going for Stargate. It introduces like the concept of the Stargate system and everything. The show does, like I say, it expands it. So in the, I don't want, that's the thing. Like, so very early on in the movie, they discover that this Stargate thing goes from one planet to another. And then it's in the show that then it's not just from one planet to another, but from one planet to another planet to another planet to a whole system of Stargates. But the movie at least gets the groundwork going, introduces you to O'Neill, Daniel Jackson, and then like because they do bring in a couple of the characters or some of the characters from the movie. So they have like the Sharae, her brother, and I think it's supposed to be her father. And to the two actors that were from the movie actually come over to the show that played the brother and the father, but not Sharae, who they had a different actress for. Excuse me. But yeah, like the movie sets it up. Show just takes it and runs with the whole material. So that's where, like I say, that's where you got to start, and then you go into the TV show.
Usually they make movies after the TV show.
Usually, and then even Stargate SG-1 does have a couple of movies, has like 3 movies, but they're kind of more like well into it, more like kind of like after. I think SG-1 kind of ended, I want to say. So, yeah. But no, this is how it starts out, because I don't think it's Roland Emmerich, but I believe Dean Devlin had plans for this to be a trilogy of movies originally.
Really?
Yes, it was originally supposed to be a set of movies, but the sequels fell through. They weren't able to make them. They did adapt them into books, which I haven't checked out yet. I've always meant to. I just never got around to it. But yeah, it was meant to be like a movie trilogy, and there were supposed to be like more of these space alien types. They were going to be more Egyptian gods, effectively. And I mean, they, like I said, they kind of stick with that whole kind of motif even in Stargate SG-1. But like, the thing is that they were going to take it into a much more gloomier setting than the way SG-1 goes, which is I mean, they have their serious moments and everything, but also like they keep it a little lighter here and there, and it is more like God, I'm trying to think of how to, I mean, just kind of like, I'm trying to think of the best way to put it, but just more lighthearted and more just like, yeah, the heroes come out victorious sort of stuff.
Versus
versus like dark, dreary. I think even in the books, either Daniel Jackson or O'Neill are killed off, I think. It's been a long time since I've looked
into the girl? Those. They take in the beginning of the episode.
Oh, she's basically just a throwaway.
Oh.
I'm sorry to spoil it, but that's big. You, like I said, you'll learn what is going on as they also take her. There's a purpose to it. But it
just to piss the Americans off.
Hey, you know, people make that mistake of pissing us off, and then we come after them, and then look what happens. A whole 10-season run.
That's insane. 10 years.
10? Yeah, they did it for 10 seasons, and then 5 seasons of Atlantis and 2 seasons of Stargate Universe. And then, like I said, 3
good
movies.
Or no? was Universe okay? So your size, all I need is not.
Well, I personally did not take too well to Universe, because to me I felt like it it went too dark. Like they did go the more kind of darker route with the series and everything, a little more, I guess, like the more adult or grown up feel. I hate to put it like that because it seems condescending to the original show, but like because then they started involving more sex scenes and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
even
no.
but yeah, like I said, it got a little drearier, and I felt like it was too much of a departure from the original tone of even Atlantis
Kind of what Monarchs
and
did with
SG-1.
Godzilla.
Well, to me, kind of the equivalent to of like for me, like Doctor Who and Torchwood. Torchwood is a major departure from the main series, and I just didn't like the tone personally. But I mean, maybe if I rewatch it now, I might feel a little differently about it because I only watched it during its initial run for season 1, and after that, I didn't bother going back to season 2. So, I mean, maybe if I go back and watch it through, maybe I'll feel a bit differently about it. But my initial impressions of it were not good. So,
Interesting.
yep. Let me get to the comments here really quick. Internet Crusader, hello, saying, "Hey, bro, hello." And hail to you, Star Wars Marvel purist. What's up, bro? Hey, not much. We're just kind of getting our plans figured out for Stargate watch. We're looking forward to it. And then Nerdy Neo, what version of Stargate SG-1 pilot episode are you gonna have him watch? I would have him watch the original, but the only way he's able to find it is the one on Amazon, and I don't know which version they have on there.
Well, how many versions do they have?
So there's different. There's the original. There's the original that was what was broadcast on the cable network that it was on, and like I said, like it did have some full frontal nudity, and that was kind of the only time that it happened. And then, and I think they might have chopped some things out from the initial 2 pilot episode to combine
Children of the Gods Part 1 and 2 is that the one you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
But I don't know how much they really remove. I think just to trim for time in like the later iterations, because there's like maybe like a couple of different iterations of it. I think there's even like a director's cut. So Nerdy Nia also saying Stargate Atlantis was phenomenal. Forking around. Hello there. Hello to you. Nerdy Neo on the SG-1 movies, wrapped up the series since they got canceled before they got to wrap it up. Another SG-1 movie was just a random long episode. Basically, yeah. And some of them weren't bad. I wish they, and I remember following Joseph Malozzi at the time. I wish they got to wrap up Stargate Atlantis. It sounded like they had some wacky ideas about getting the city onto the moon to be a moon base and a rogue AI. Sounded kind of wacky, but I would have been down for it. It's kind of funny because Atlantis was kind of Jason Momoa's big kind of breakout. Well, not big breakout, but that's where he definitely. That's where Jason Momoa is in Stargate Atlantis. Yeah, that's where I mostly know him from. Not like Game of Thrones.
Not SG-1. I'm sorry, not SG-1.
But Stargate Atlantis is where I know him from. God dang it. There we go. Nerdy Neo saying SG wasn't bad, just disappointing. Basically. Blake, Dan Blackroyd, how's it going? Saying SG-1 needed more nudity, just like the pilot, and should have ended at season 8. I can agree with you on that for sure, and especially shouldn't have gone through with season 9 and 10, but we'll maybe go through them when we get to that point. And I'm surprised we didn't get more with the Hathor episode, quite frankly, especially considering Hathor. Like, I'm surprised that chick did not get her gear off. But you'll find out for that yourself, Hitman, in due time. Okay, so I'm not the only one. Yeah, that's where I first, and I think it's been funny because I've watched a few interviews with oh God, why am I forgetting his name now? Who played John Shepard in Atlantis. He kind of has joked. He's been on the Salty Nerd. What's that? Joe Flanagan. That's right. Thank you. Chiefster had me covered. But yeah, Joe Flanagan, I guess, has kind of guessed. He's like, I discovered this guy. How am I not getting more credit for this? Because he's been on the Salty Nerd podcast. They've done interviews and stuff like that with him. He's just popped on there. It's like he's just kind of joked around about the whole thing. Yes, Forkin. More nudity can always be better. Blake, what the hell, man? More
So
wanted
no
Hammond naked every episode at his desk. Oof. Oof.
No Klingons in this show.
No, we just have Jaffa and the Gaul. Oh, and eventually Unas and
The
Gray.
Gaul or the Gold people.
The Asgard. Thank you. I always just call it end up because my brain is kind of like goodbye. But yeah, the Gaul are, well, like I said, you'll learn about them more when you start watching the series. Yeah, and they've had God. Hang on. They've also had on David Hewlett, who plays Rodney McKay, that gets introduced in Stargate SG-1, and a character you want to throttle the ever-loving shit out of. But SG-1, Stargate Atlantis really does well with his character. I think I just gave you the name. Yeah, David Hewlett. Oh yeah, and the Nox. Yep. You have the Nox, the Unas, the Asgard. I mean, the Asgard and the Nox were kind of like the ancient race, part of the ancient races too, that like were safeguarding a lot of things and kept people from certain knowledge and all that. But also but the Asgard are more helpful to the SG-1 team than some others. Then there's even the yeah, I'll agree with that. Nox and Asgard tied for most interesting alien race. And
Asgard, like from Marvel Asgard?
No, Asgard as in they're basically like what you know of like the Greys aliens types, you know, like the little short dudes with gray big black eyes and all that. They are what inspired the Asgardians, basically.
They're not Thor and Loki.
There is a Thor. He calls himself Thor.
But is it Thor?
Not as you know him. Not from like Norse mythology. No.
That's what I'm asking. Yeah, Asgard.
Yeah. No. He does take on it, like I said. We'll eventually get to all this, and you'll learn. You'll find out what goes on these certain like safeguarded planets and stuff.
Or Asgard from like the flat earther perspective.
No, not like that.
Okay. Because I thought Norse mythology and Egyptian. So you got Egyptian and Norse in this show, but it's not Norse mythology.
Yeah. Like, they're just like I said. They're just in this, like Blake saying. There's Thor and Loki. They're just in the forms of the little gray. I'll show you.
They look like Nogri.
That is an Asgardian.
That looks like Smeagol and Hobbit and
oh, for God's sake!
What do you call it? House elf.
But no, and then there's like even the ancient race of humans that are responsible for a lot of things that are left over in this galaxy and are also responsible for the creation of the Stargates and everything like that. Like I said, there's such a wealth of lore and everything that goes on in this show that it's.
Who's the equivalent to the Rakatan? They're Rakatan.
That'd probably be like,
As
well, because the Rakatan were genocidal psychos by the point that
they were most definitely yes.
world conquerors and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, I
Under
guess
the under the
I
facade of
I guess the Gao old would be the most equivalent to it. Next to, I don't think you could say the yeah. I guess that'd be kind of it. But
under the guise of being
or the
peaceful.
yeah, the
people.
gold.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Thor's hammer episode is good.
Wait, there's an actual hammer?
Like I said, you all
This makes no sense. Does this have anything to do with Disney or no?
No.
It's very confusing. Thor, his hammer. Thor has a hammer. Mjolnir, Mew Mew.
Because like
Does Disney own this? Own the rights?
No, this is like I believe like Norse mythology basically kind of follows public domain sort of stuff. So anybody can use these characters. They just have to make them different from like from Marvel and stuff like that. So they don't have to worry about those sort of copyright claims or whatever. It's kind of public domain stuff.
But Star Wars is completely different though. You say
right, they're not under the they are not, it's not like how recently the tugboat Mickey Mouse has gone into public domain now, and now anybody can start making basically movies off of that. And yeah, it was before Disney owned Marvel, so you aren't running into that either.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This is better than Star Trek? Of course it is. That's a trick question. Everything's better than Star Trek.
From a certain point of view, well, depending on who you ask, whatever you want to say.
Well, is it better than new Trek or old Trek?
Definitely better than new Trek, yeah.
That's a trick question. Everything's better than new Trek, especially if you ask I'm sure Tim and Bob.
Oh yeah, definitely. But no, I know I'm definitely looking forward to having you experience this show for the first time.
Who do you think is gonna be my favorite character? Whoever is there a Palpatine in this show?
Not until much later.
Oh.
I would say like kind of when they introduce Anubis.
Anubis.
When they get to Anubis, when they introduce him, God.
Is he like a Palpatine?
I would say he's probably your closest Palpatine stand-in.
Not Adolphus.
Who?
Adolphus.
Apophis, the first guy?
Yeah, him.
I mean,
is he like these gods you're telling me about that like fight each other?
Like they some of them do, but like only because now there's been there. Like I said, the movie kind of sets things up with the whole with Ra, who's the supreme system lord, as they start introducing in the series. That is basically he is the most powerful of powerful among the old society.
He'd be like Thanos or Darkseid in Marvel and DC.
He's the king of the crop. And he's like, once he's kind of killed off, then there's like kind of a bit of a power vacuum, and some maintain alliances between each other, and some are like starting to go kind of a little more tooth and nail. They're starting to scrap for territories and taking out weaker groups here and there, because there are lower tier old leadership and stuff like that can be taken out. But then like there is like the whole council, the supreme system lords, that you also are eventually introduced to, and also kind of like where Apophis is trying to kind of break into himself. Like he's trying to prove he's an interesting character for sure, and he's a pretty long mainstay for a villain. I'll give him that. Like he's kind of, I kind of see him like a bit of a cockroach. He just somehow finds his way to keep scurrying about.
Oh, then maybe I won't like him then. I don't like cockroaches.
But no,
I like Sheaves.
no, I know. But like I said, he definitely finds his way into some interesting situations.
He's like the guy that just won't die and go away.
Right. He's conniving. He's willing. He finds ways to keep basically, like I say, keep going and keep causing havoc for the SG1 team and stuff like that. I would say definitely like the most to me, like the most frustrating group that they deal with are the in their quote unquote allies are the Tok'ra. They're kind of like this group of Goa'ulds that has broken away, and they want kind of peace and harmony. They do live in harmony with them and their hosts, but oh, for the love of God, they can be like a group of very obnoxious twat waffles. That I'm like, you know what? Even I'm like, just freaking shoot them into the nearest sun and be done with them. But you might see what I'm talking about when we start getting into more of the episodes.
So I won't like Adolphus, Anubis maybe. Pretty much.
That's that's unfair. That's like the last episode. That's like when they're getting close. I think they're like that's like the last episodes of season 7. But I mean, he does go around in his like hooded corporeal form and stuff like that. Because he, like I said, he's an interest. Like Anubis was like could have been a much better villain, but I felt like he was a bit squandered. And also, there was another one too. I'm trying to remember which one that was. Because he's another kind of like taking on the guise of being the evil of all evil. There are so many different characters in this show. Dang it. I can't recall the particular, because he basically kind of runs like a hell planet. That's like also kind of like a prison colony.
How many times have you watched Stargate SG1?
Oh, all the way through?
Uh-huh.
I couldn't say for sure how many times exactly.
But you've watched them all.
No, I don't think it was. No, it's not Ball. But they certainly make fun of him enough. As in Bocce Ball? No, because it's funny because Apophis is imprisoned on the planet, and that's where we find out that the cockroach is still alive.
Adolphus. Adolfo.
Yeah, Adolphus.
Adolphus.
As you keep calling him.
Is that his name?
Apophis.
Apophis. I'm going to keep calling him Adolphus. Apophis.
Apophis. Oh, Sokar. Sokar is the guy. Like, he's another kind of character that gets introduced, but is sadly like very much like boom, he's kind of gone. But he was definitely kind of like another evil of all evil sort of character that could have worked well, but he gets offed pretty quick.
So
I'm looking forward to this.
I am too, but I'm just trying to say I need to buy the movie and then we watch the.
Oh, the movie is like a typical
episode.
I mean, hang on, let's see. Stargate runtime.
And make sure it's on Amazon or buy it, I guess.
Oh, where do they have that? Come on. I mean, like I said, it's probably like 90 minutes to an hour 56 minutes.
2 hours. All right.
Almost 2 hours. But not, yeah, an hour 56.
Well, the first episode was an hour and 36, so that makes sense.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, it's all in the Yeah, I did too. Blackbird says I really like the episode where Ball tortures Jack after he had a symbiote in him in the weird prison. Yeah, no, that's a really good episode.
Are
And
you sure
he's
this
having
isn't Marvel? I hear symbiote.
no, don't
Thor
no. It's
has
you'll understand the first, like I say, the first couple episodes sets up what he's what he's referring to in terms of symbiote. Because okay, so the Gaul are basically reptilian worm creatures that take over that will take over human beings and use them as a host. So there's like a symbiotic relationship between the two. The symbiote in particular is part of the Tok'ra, the resistance members that are fighting the Gaul, and they live in harmony with their human hosts. That's where more like the symbiotic relationship comes in that respects too. And yeah, like so because like Jack was dying from something. They used a Tok'ra symbiote to help heal him. This Tok'ra symbiote hijacks his body for a mission and then bails out. And then Jack is captured and tortured by Ball. And then Daniel Jackson, in a way, tries to help him out. It's a good episode.
Can you just walk through this gate and then get to where they're at, or do they
Yeah,
have to be the ones
so
that...
like, well, they have to activate. They have to have the correct dialing sequence. And that's kind of where some of the extra drama comes in here and there. They're supposed to find, specific coordinates, and that's at least very early on. They maintain that. Later on, it kind of becomes very much like, okay, Daniel Jackson's found the way for them to get back home, and they kind of go along with the episode. You're kind of like, it's kind of assumed he figures it out in the background. But like the whole thing, certainly like some of the early things that goes on is the aspect of they have to discover the correct I guess kind of hieroglyphics, or just like the symbols on the Stargate that are constellations, to find the right ones that they can tap, and then either go back home or go to a new planet. And that's like what eventually happens is they discover on the first planet they go to the whole part of the system of Stargate coordinates that they start. That's how they kind of get the show rolling. They cataloged what they needed to, and they moved on. And then even later, O'Neill inputs a bunch of information thanks to like this repository of ancient knowledge, and he just like downloads all of these new coordinates for them to eventually start discovering or going on new adventures to, basically. So they create extra ways to also help, and it works very well through the episodes to get into it and for them to go on these adventures. And then like I say, it just ties together neatly.
But one side doesn't have to activate, like the Gould or...
So basically, as soon as one side activates the gate and goes to the planet, that's locked. So nobody else can like dial out or anything like that. That's locked to that location. And that kind of becomes plot points for some episodes. So if like the Gaul dialed in, then they couldn't dial out themselves. Like the humans could not escape any way through the Stargate. They're stuck. And if they try and enter, you're killed.
Ooh.
Yeah, because it's only like a one-way thing. So if you and then like I say, it's some crazy.
Apophis, is he? What is he? Is he? He's not Asgard. He's
the Gaul. He's one of the Gaul snake things. Yeah,
Gaul. Okay,
he's just using a human host as his vessel, basically.
Oh, that is very conniving.
Yes,
I like.
That's basically what they're all built on.
I like him. I like him a lot. That's smart.
Yeah, that's true. Nerdy Neo says, one thing that annoyed me was they never explained the wormhole only goes one way. Like you were just supposed to know that. Yeah, because they never explained it in the movie either. That's kind of a, it's kind of a funny thing. That's the detail I never quite questioned myself. Oh, okay. And Fook Norris says the movie is free on YouTube.
Oh, let's go.
So you can find it on YouTube and watch it there.
I'm sure it's on Amazon too, hopefully. I gotta get my money's worth of this thing.
Yeah, pretty much, right?
No,
Well,
I
maybe
mean,
that'll be
it's the whole
maybe
reason
that'll
why
be
I
one
did.
reason. Yeah, we'll get Prime.
No, I
again.
don't know if I told you this. So the part of the reason why I wanted to get Prime was for like to watch movies and everything. And then
Oh,
I
is that
found out
right?
that like and then I found out they have overnight shipping, which is just also just great because
You just found this out.
yeah, you just stay up late at night ordering stuff. It's great.
Who needs those late night infomercials anymore? When you just go on to
Oh,
Amazon.
but I miss the ShamWow guy or the OxyClean guy.
Or the OxyClean, yeah. I was thinking of that.
We're showing our
ShamWow.
age. No one remembers he was a.
Oh no, I'm
he was
sure
a-
people in our chat they know.
well, hopefully. Yeah, he was one of the guys was he was a drug addict. I think it was a ShamWow guy.
This is a ShamWow guy.
Like, do you know how much water those things sucked up?
No,
More
I
than a
never
pond.
used
Oh,
one.
my
All I know is that
goodness.
flex tape is bullshit.
I never used flex tape. Was it?
Yeah, it was bullshit.
Why?
We tried using it on our mattresses, on our air mattresses when we got them. They didn't seal up worth shit.
I thought you were gonna say I used it on my water bed.
No.
That's
When we were like first like moving and stuff, we got air mattresses, so it'd be until like we got like our mattresses themselves. They easily popped, and this is like, man, those things did not work. That tape did not work worth shit. And if it did, it was like very short term. So I felt lied to.
I wonder if you should use it for a water mattress, a water bed. Do they still make those?
Water mattresses?
Yeah.
I wouldn't see why they'd stop necessarily.
Because they're old. And remember lava lamps? You remember lava lamps?
Oh yeah. I know where they still sell them too.
Oh, I was gonna say like these kids they don't understand. It's sad. How can you have lava in a lamp? Lava's hot. And if you put it in water, it doesn't make any sense because it's going to be a stone. Oh, these kids, they just drive me crazy. Boo. You came up with an interesting term. Well, I don't know if you came up with it, but you were talking about before the show. I was telling like you said, did you, or Sheefster was like, did you boomer it or something?
Oh, boomering.
I've heard this term. Oh my goodness, I've heard this term. I kid you not, I've heard this term like probably 7 times in the last 2 days. I never knew what it was. I thought they were like when I heard boomer, I was like, "You're talking about boomer?"
It's kind of very internet culture kind of. That's what it's become now. Is very associated with that. And like I said, just like I told you, it's very much like anytime you goof things up technically or whatever, or like so Christmas Eve, I was playing Sea of Thieves with Paul Hadoken, Shaka Zulu, and Static. And it was getting kind of late. We had done like a whole big run and turned in a bunch of loot. We were doing the pirate thing. Yarr. And I'm like, oh, you know what? I can still do a little more. Because I was initially thinking, all right, I think I should probably call it quits. I've done enough. I'm getting kind of tired as it is. But I'm like, yeah, screw it. I'll keep going. And and then as we we take the boat out, I'm helping, and we get to the first mission point, and I'm just like, I just kind of like, okay, we're here. I'm just gonna take a quick moment, and I closed my eyes, and then that was all she wrote, folks. I was out like I boomered hard. I was out like a light. I fell asleep live on stream. Lucky enough for me, I guess, was that I was far enough away from my microphone, so if I was snoring, nobody could hear it. And thankfully, since I use the Kyle Katarn avatar, you don't see me passed out in my chair, lean back.
That's hilarious.
And I do eventually, I wake up, and I'm like, oh, fuck me. I wake up and I'm like, oh no, I fell asleep. And I look at my game, I'm like, oh no, I got kicked out. Oh shit, I was out for much longer than I thought. And I even saw like a DM from Static going, dude, what happened? Because like he said he thought I just like lost internet connection or something like that.
Yeah.
And I kind of show activity again. I log back. I think I was trying to log back in. I'm like, oh hey, there you are. I'm like, and I just kind of shoot. I was like, yeah, I fell asleep. I fell asleep in my fucking chair. So that's kind of, yeah, it was past my boomer sleep time. So I just like it was, I fell asleep completely in my chair. I keep saying this, but I gotta do it. I gotta clip that segment out.
Why have you not? I
And-
thought you talked about this last show. I thought you were gonna do it.
Oh, did I talk about this last show? See,
Yeah, it was hilarious.
Boomer
because,
memory.
yeah.
See, boomer memory. There's the funny because like Folk Norris points out, short for baby boomer, but now applies to anyone someone thinks is old. Like I said too to you, Hitman, anyone that messes up with technology, either on stream or just in general, is boomer. You boomered it. So yeah, it's become another one of those kind of very broad internet terms.
It's hilarious.
That's all I'll call it. So
Kids call me. I'm like, show some. I was like, respect my authority. Yes, I'm older. Respect your elders.
right, we need. It's like, all right, I'm a boomer, then respect my.
I may not know how to check my email, but you will
Respect your elders. But yeah, like Nerdy Neo said, this is really making me want to rewatch the show. I'd been getting the itch for it.
What would you watch
and,
parties?
And when also Raging Rhino started talking about doing it, rewatching Stargate, I'm like, God damn it, that's a really good idea. And when I was talking about it with even Static, and I think Duke Devil 95, we were talking about it. It's like, damn, we got to do this. So.
Can you do a watch party if it's on Amazon or no?
Oh,
I don't know how long the episodes are.
think you can do a Twitch party. Yeah, Twitch watch party.
How long are the episodes? Are they all an hour?
They're all about 45 minutes.
So basically, they're shorter than Andor.
Yeah. Well, they're kind of in the same, like Andor flip-flop from like 35, 40, 50 minutes.
They were always over 48 minutes because the intro.
The entrance always took so long. But yeah, they have them on Amazon. I believe you can do it like as a Twitch party thing.
I thought it'd be funny.
I've never done that myself, but
if Duke Devil wanted to get on it, Static, hell, if we send Rhino an invite, might be fun.
Oh, definitely. And if I don't know, like if we do it like probably like Saturday nights, or when would you want to do it?
Well, we'd figure out the details, but I think that'd be kind of cool. That way, like we could do it on.
If I could set it up the way Wookiee did for Ahsoka, that would work out really well.
I'd say let's do it. Let's do a watch party, man. We'll reach out. It'd be I forget what time is when Raging joined it back. Was it in July or whenever when we did it with Script? And,
for Andor.
Yeah, or whenever it was. I forget what the time difference.
No, well, that's just it because he appears on. He goes on Yellow Flash's Flashcast on Saturday evenings, and I think if we're playing it like this late, we'd probably overlap. And I don't know where he would want to bounce between for that.
I think it'd be fun.
If we could, but it'd be fun. I do kind of like that idea. Like I said, if we can get it set up the same way, and just do it like it is through the Discord for people to come into, and then we'll just.
I just want to hear Raging say, like, if there's ever a ridiculous moment in the show, I just want to hear him say, "Are you taking the piss?" I have to hear him say it.
Well, do you watch Casual Rage at all?
No, I was at work.
You gotta find magical ways like me. You gotta find magical ways like me.
I know. No, but yeah, I think we should. I don't know. Reach out to Static. I would be down for a watch party. I think it would be fun, and it would be not more engaging, but I think it'd just be fun if we all could do it through like you said, like Discord or Twitch or whatnot. However to do it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not too familiar with Twitch, how they do their the whole watch party system, but
freaking Star Wars Theory does it. I think maybe I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't follow the guy, so I don't know.
But yeah, no, that'd be a fun way to do it.
Are you opposed to it?
I'm not opposed to it. No.
We should figure it out.
That's just kind of my main thing, is just trying to figure out how to.
Where's Static? Is he in the chat?
He is.
DM him. Send him a DM.
Oh, I see. I see how we're just that interesting. He's gonna be playing video games. How Static? I see how it is. I see. I get it. Not worth your attention.
Well, if you grew a beard,
Shaka Zulu's down. He says he's down too.
Shaka Zulu, all right. Shaka Zulu.
Streaming POV on Discord could work. I think I could probably set things up to, since I have Restream set up through OBS and everything. I'm just trying to think of how to work this out. That's all.
Well, we have technology. Darn it. Let's sit down and figure it out. We have time. How do we do it?
I'll have to experiment with some things, and we'll get.
Oh, I thought you meant you're doing it right now.
I mean, I was just messing with you, Static. But he says he does it to everyone. Depends on what I'm doing. I can't always do that myself. I mean, like I said, I'll fiddle fart around with this on my own time, and I'll figure it out.
I just tried to Google it, and it said "ask you." So.
Wow, Google's just pointing fingers right to me, huh? Damn.
Ass fractured. It basically said you're too stupid enough to figure it out. So ass fractured. I was like, okay.
Oh, you could figure it out too. You just don't want
to. I couldn't even work the picture frame.
You were having difficulty, apparently. Yes.
You give me too much credit. Oh my dear.
Speaking of Static, are you having fun in Monster Hunter World? Sorry, I cut you off there. What were you gonna say?
I just get instantly furious when you have a 4-film collection of Batman and they always put Batman Forever into it. I'm sorry, not Batman. Batman and Robin.
What do you expect? Of course, they're gonna keep all those ones together.
No, that needs to go in the trash where George Clooney belongs.
What? What are you saying? Are you saying that's not like the best one out there? Come on, man.
Yes,
ice cold.
Yeah, not good. It's the worst. I take Jim Carrey over
Schwarzenegger and
absolutely
all the ice puns. Oh, come on.
I think Jim Carrey should have played the Mad Hatter, honestly, instead of the Riddler.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot for a second. I was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Are you just talking about the? That's right, because they had the basically Alice in Wonderland sort of.
Yeah.
character in there. That's right.
Ugh.
It's a little annoying trying to do multiplayer. My
Bro,
brother
who's
just
the dude
played
with the gold squiggly line on his forehead?
the gold. That's Teal'c, and
Teal'c.
he's the I know there's a specific name for them. And I am
Maybe it's
forgetting.
not the gold squiggly line people.
Well, because like the others will just have a regular like tattooed marking, but the gold is for the like specific Jaffa leadership. Like kind of like the generals of the Jaffa. And I'm trying to, for the life of me, and I can't right now remember what they called them specifically. Let's see. First prime. So that's the first prime of the Jaffa leadership underneath the Gauld. So the first primes are like the guys that are kind of like like I said, the Jaffa leadership. And that's what the gold symbol is for. Yeah, I had a hell of a time trying to remember that specific thing. But yeah, the first prime.
Optimus Prime?
That's what Teal'c is the prime Jaffa prime or whatever.
Have we talked about how bad Transformers, like how bad it's actually come, or how
live action movies?
Oh my goodness! Like the only
I've seen the first 3 Michael Bay ones. I don't remember if he kept doing them after that when they brought in Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch, but
yeah, I'd assume. I don't know.
I've seen the first 3 with fucking Shia LaBeouf. They're pretty god awful. The first one was like okay, but like after that is like dear lord.
You like the second one?
No.
Really?
I didn't much care for any of them after the fact.
I like the first one.
Like I said, the first one wasn't bad. But that was like also the only time they included the original like transforming music sound effect. Like, how do you not keep doing something like that?
There's like, I don't know, 7 of them now, and they're just so bad.
I heard Bumblebee was good, but I have not watched any others. Like I almost got interested in the one with the
Gorilla.
Basically the Beast Wars, the primals or what the that whole aspect to it, but then I kind of dipped out and like, oh, it's Ron Perlman voicing Optimus Primal. No thanks.
Is he Hellboy?
Yeah, he's Hellboy.
Yeah, he's crazy. He said about
that also didn't help his case any in my eyes.
Like about COVID or something. Well, I forget what we were reviewing, but it was I can't get behind him. Bye, Felicia.
I love how on your desk you have that little door, that little like.
Oh yeah. That
bell that says "Bye Felicia" on it.
Yeah, I read it every time. I'm like, if somebody makes me mad at work, I'm like, ring the bell and leave.
I thought that was good. I was like, oh, that's.
Yeah.
I always chuckle when I see it.
Like, remove yourself from my presence.
Static saying Bumblebee was okay. So not high on the list, but it was okay.
I didn't watch it.
I like I said, I haven't watched it either. I only got through the Shia LaBeouf films, and the only reason I did was because of the fact that they did the Riff Tracks commentary for him, where they were just making fun of the movie the whole time. Kind of like how I got through the rest of the Disney sequel trilogy for Star Wars. I waited for them to make fun of it.
Bro,
and I watched it. What?
Bro, what is this new? I don't know if I didn't go into Discord this morning, but what is this stuff about freaking what's her name? Palpatine, Ray Palpatine. Is there legit a new movie coming out? Or is this just all like Doomcock talk?
Oh, well, Doomcock would say it's probably not coming out or anything like that. So
Like
you're
it's blown up on Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter, yeah. I don't know. I kind of had it in the thumbnail at the same time. I was kind of like, I've already kind of heard enough about this freaking woman. I wasn't sure if I really even wanted to go into it, but I kind of kept it as a talking point.
There you go. I saw it on Twitter. There's a lot of stuff on Twitter about it. Well, I don't know about that specifically, but Daisy Ridley.
Yeah, it's this Charmin Obaid Chinoy woman.
Yes.
Yeah, like I said, so I'm trying to find a good article for it. Hang on. Because apparently not even freaking bounding into comics is becoming very worthwhile anymore. But no, so yeah, like this woman is the Charmin Obaid Chinoy. She's the person that's supposedly directing the Ray Palpatine movie. And she has no directing experience really, other than doing documentaries. And she is, yeah, full-blown activist woman. She said there's a couple of videos out there too of, okay, so I'm trying to find okay. Yeah, God, I swear, like you can't find worse people. Somehow Kathleen Kennedy or even freaking Dave Filoni manages to dig up some of the worst freaking people to pick for these jobs. Let me try and find where some of it. I don't think I bookmarked it initially. Okay, so yeah, so here it's very, I guess even CNN had this article. Charmin Obaid Chinoy looks ahead to new year for Star Wars. Christy Stout talks Pakistani-born Canadian filmmaker Charmin Obaid Chinoy about her projects, including directing a quote-unquote new Star Wars movie.
Now,
and like I said, it so many people have like dived into this too. That's why I've been already hearing people talk to this.
meanwhile,
like,
Pakistan is counting down to the start of a new year, and they're just over a couple of hours. Chinoy is an inspiration to women. Begin there.
But yeah,
Our
this
next
is
guest is an inspiration to women all over the world, including her home country of Pakistan. Filmmaker and activist Charmin Obaid Chinoy is the only female director to have won 2 Academy Awards by the age of 37. She is also the first woman and the first person of color to direct a Star Wars film.
now okay, like
color?
people well, and
Of
people
color.
have been, yeah, women of color and stuff like that, and they very specifically, and I think Tuscan Bob and Tim on Spacing last night were talking about it too, and they made the point as well that they do. She points out movies, so for the movie side of things, not for the television side, which we already know. We had Deborah Chow that directed and was in charge of Kenobi, thank you. I try and forget that goddamn series.
Mm-hmm.
But then like they have had female directors for Mandalorian, and like Bryce Dallas Howard has directed episodes.
So why say that? Why say movie?
Because it's still a way to
and
keep
then...
themselves differentiated from, and it's like, you know, very pointing at the movies versus making it a broad thing to say, you know, in charge of a Star Wars project, but you know, in charge of a Star Wars movie project keeps it in that realm, because so far, yes, it was Gareth Edwards for Rogue One, Jar Jar Abrams for 2 of the 3 sequel trilogy movies, then Ruin Johnson, and Ron Howard for the Solo movie. And then that's been it in terms of the movies.
Really just crazy, because Ron Howard is typically, in my opinion, like
Solo was through development hell. It went through multiple directors.
Yeah. And he just got the shaft at the end of it.
Yeah, pretty much. And so, yeah, so I think this goes just for a little bit more.
Set to be released in 2026. You can say that the force is strong with this one. Here's Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy.
You know, I'm very thrilled about the project because I think what we are about to create is something very special.
And there he is, king of the cucks himself, old Dave Filoni. Because now, like, it's very been, like he himself has said, he's at the beginning stages of all of these projects now.
But we
already know he already was, because even Deborah Chow had pointed out how she would always go to Dave Filoni for information, but.
So really quick, before you play this, so do you think, because we all know that he's always been at the head of everything, but do you think that this new title that they released to him now gives him a free pass, or gives him the anonymity of not being responsible for everything that has gone wrong?
I mean, people have already done that.
Does that make sense though? Am I saying
no,
right?
Yeah, people have also been very selective on what he's been assigned to or what they associate him with. But no, it possibly gives him the ability to bow out a little easier, maybe. But I mean, he's the head creative for Lucasfilm. There's
he always has been,
and he always has been.
So I don't know. I just find it I thought about that. I was like, why? Because I was like, well, why did they give him this title? Because he's always been there. He's been there since day one. So. And my thought was like, well, I bet you they gave him this title, this title to basically give him people know, like, oh, well, he wasn't, the reason why everything with Star Wars is crap. You know what I mean? But now, like,
right.
I don't know. I'm not a
no. I get where you're going with.
It gives you free pass, because now you're creative. Now you're head of creative, but you weren't
right.
Since 2013 or 14.
Well, I'd say not being in charge of it actually made it easier to not associate him with certain things. Like, oh, it's just his name being generally slapped on something. Or I guess you could say, yeah, because he's in charge too. Yeah, I guess it kind of goes either way.
Yeah, hand in hand.
Yeah.
2024 now, and I think it's about time that we had a woman come forward to shape the story in a galaxy.
Because current year, and we got to do current year things.
When the Star Wars announcement came out, you posted this on Instagram. You said this, quote, "I have always been attracted to the hero's journey, and the world definitely needs more heroes. The blueprints of the heroes we see on screen are rooted in reality," unquote. Now, Charmaine, as in a...
But they have not had heroes. And like, what, suddenly you're going to be able to bring them in? You're going to bring back heroes somehow? I doubt that with a feminist activist angle, considering what that ideology is mostly about.
Award-winning documentary filmmaker, you have met and profiled many real-life heroes fighting abuse, fighting violence against women. Is there one real-life hero you met, you filmed, who has stayed with you?
And that's going to be the angle. It's still going to be men bad, women good. You aren't not going to have the equal footing of, and that's what George Lucas was able to do. He made all three of the people be heroes in the story. Han, Luke, and Leia. And certainly Leia didn't need to be an abuse victim or anything like that. She was very much, more or less equal footing in what she was contributing to the Rebel Alliance and to what she was helping out when she on things on Endor and stuff like that. So
my work takes me right around the world where I focus on grassroots communities. And in my own home country of Pakistan, I'm inspired by so many of these frontline workers. And one of them is Gule Khandana, who runs a school for young women and who has stood up to loud voices that clamored during the attack in Pakistan on schools a few years ago. She has the most incredible story because her husband is her partner and her champion. And it's so important to have male champions in your life who sort of help you.
So this is where, because basically as people have been kind of figuring, Rey Palpatine is going to be getting Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy, basically. And so I'm guessing that's where some of this is coming from, or going to be coming from.
When there are difficult times.
How important is it for you to continue to cultivate and to create spaces for the next generation of Pakistani storytellers?
Okay, so that's less on less Star Wars related, I'm going to say. But yeah. But this is the thing, like this person has had some very interesting additional things to bring about. And this is funny too, like even hang on, I'm trying to get one of the other little resounding clips of this woman and what she said. Oh, that's the article I just found. Yes, and then there's this lovely clip.
What is the balance of activating a force for change, but also trying to permeate that patriarchy, that power structure? And is that a part of the calculation of your art as well? And what's been the reaction to that?
Oh, absolutely. I like to make men uncomfortable. I enjoy making men uncomfortable.
And like many have pointed out, Rhino included, just imagine any man saying that. I like to make women feel uncomfortable.
No, absolutely.
And it's a very true thing. Just, all right, flip it on its head. What would it be for the other side? Yeah. What canceled in a nanosecond. You know what, men out there? Go ahead. I say, I dare you. God, let's start making the women feel uncomfortable. Let's throw around our patriarchal power.
Was she an activist? Sexism, feminism?
Yeah, she's a feminist type.
Stupid.
Not you, just not you. Not you.
Point taken. Point taken.
Because we hardly qualify you as a man, John. Don't worry, we don't include you in this. Let's see. Red Hoodwink says should have the bad flute rendition of Titanic playing in the background of the video. Marvel Purist having a good chuckle, and then Red Hoodwinked. Great. What does it have to do with Star Wars? Absolutely nothing. And this is basically what we are getting a preview of here is what we're going to be potentially seeing. Okay, we'll get. It's been announced they dragged Daisy Ridley out for the announcement and all that jazz. Will we see this? Will this movie see the light of day? Who knows? It'll be interesting for sure. It'll be interesting to see what comes of this. So we got a little bit more of this. Hopefully, Hitman's still listening. He had to dip away for a second.
But, it is important to be able to look into the eyes of a man and say, I am here, and recognize that. And recognize that I am working to bring something that makes you uncomfortable, and it should make you uncomfortable because you need to change your attitude. And it's only when you're uncomfortable, when you're shifty, when you have to have difficult conversations that you will perhaps look at yourself in the mirror and not like the reflection. And then say, maybe there is something wrong with the way I think, or maybe there is something wrong with the way I am addressing this issue.
How about you right now, lady? I don't think making somebody necessarily uncomfortable is also the best way to reach someone that you are trying to get an understanding with. Now, maybe that's just me and my old-fashioned way of thinking or something. But, yeah, I don't think that's the way you want to go about it. I don't know if Schuster was hearing. I kind of heard him snort over there like he might have been listening in on this. Love to get his opinion. But no, like it is again. This is, yeah. I mean, it's that projection, right? She's, like Red Hoodwink says, she's talking about herself, and like I said, it's amazing who either Filoni, Kathleen Kennedy, how they are finding these whack jobs of people is beyond me. Yeah, she can't look at herself in the mirror. Probably not. And there was one more clip.
The same gas bag.
Yep, the same gas bag.
Like I don't mean that to be disrespectful, but my biggest issue with sexism and not even sexism, feminism. I'm not even gonna get into it because that's gonna be an hour long thing. So just continue with gas bag.
All right. Well, hey, that's like it is. That's the whole point of being in this circle. Say what you want, man. Whatever comes to mind, go for it.
It's so stupid because they sit here and it's like the argument is ridiculous because if it's feminists will say something against the man, like it's if a man was to say that, it's just a double standard at its core, and it's so stupid. And it's like, are there men out there that are sexist? Absolutely, but this whole feminist movement is so stupid, right? Because I'm not gonna get into it, but it's like I don't know how you feel about it, but like when I hear these people, like, and it's just so stupid because like, well, I like to make men feel uncomfortable. It's like you are a hypocrite because you sit there and say that I want to make men uncomfortable, or I enjoy making men uncomfortable. But if a man did that to you, then all hell would break loose. So it's hypocrisy at its finest.
Yeah. Oh,
but
absolutely.
Because you're a woman and you claim that, I mean, it's hypocrisy, man, and I think that's just what's so stupid and so irritating about it. And then people can get behind this movement. I'm not saying men are greater than women, and
I will.
I'm just saying, like,
no, we have our roles in nature, in life.
Yes,
it's
absolutely from that perspective, and it's a biblical concept that the man is the leader. right? He's the leader of the household. He's the spiritual leader of the household. He is supposed to be the dominant figure, right? But this culture has now flipped that role on reverse, and well, no, the woman cannot be and should not be and will not be submissive to the man, because somehow that makes us think that the man
Well,
is better.
it seemed more as a negative than it is as like a positive in the relationship dynamics between the two.
No, it's like, but
You know?
I don't. Maybe you and I are crazy because we grew up in a generation where and I know you're a little bit different, but generally speaking, the man made the decision, and the wife
Right.
was like, okay, yeah. But they didn't mean that like they didn't talk about stuff and they didn't like have discussions
Right.
about
Didn't come
things.
to like certain agreements,
No.
understandings, and stuff like that
But you
to move forward in what they were needing to do for the family, for the household,
and
and stuff like that.
but now we also live in a culture where it's very hard for just to have a husband just work, right? Because the inflation and so you
Well, and
both
that
now
was
have to work.
where some of the whole movement and stuff was working to, is to have
Right.
dual income. So
But
yes, and this will,
but to
and
take
this
a
is
Megan,
just a fact of nature, though, is that women spend more than men. They are more materialistic and
absolutely.
and our purchasers greater than men. That's why a lot of the society has shifted towards a feminine mindset. So, but that's why they brought in that aspect for having both people in the house have dual income. So then they could strike for one, also in multiple facets, get another consumer, but also then help break up the nuclear family.
No, but it's so stupid to take a Megan Rapinoe approach, be like, well, because I have a vagina, I need to be paid more than a man that has a penis. Like,
just by virtue
just
of
by sheer having a vagina.
But
Like, this is so
Megan Rapinoe,
stupid.
that's the thing though. What is a woman now? We don't know.
They can't
I'm
even
not a
define what a
biologist.
woman is.
I'm not a biologist. She isn't. She isn't a Supreme Court judge.
No,
She
but
can't make this
that's the
determination.
thing. You have the audacity to say, I'm a woman and I deserve to be paid more than a man. But then if you but you ask any, those people that have that ideology, like what a woman is, well, I don't really have the authority to say what a woman is because I don't know what a woman is. Like I was born with a penis, but I could, but I want to be a woman, so I can be a woman. Like,
But I'm
it's so
gender
stupid
fluid, so I feel today like I'm a woman, but tomorrow
Right.
I may feel like I'm a man.
When it comes to your financials, you'll be like, I'm a woman. But when it comes to just asking the question in general, like, I don't really know because it's subjective. Like, it's just, and it's no different than, I've heard the argument where black people, there's African Americans who will say, I'll say black people who say, well, I should be paid money, but I should be paid, what is the word? Restitution from white people because reparations from white people because my ancestors were slaves, and because your skin's white, you're the cause of slavery. It's
right.
As asinine as saying I'm a woman who has a vagina and I deserve to be paid more than man. It's also it's just so. These are the reasons, and this is the reason why I have issues with these just ideological just ideas in this ideology. It's so stupid. It's absolutely asinine, and the fact that people can get behind it and think that it's like okay and it's right and it's true, like you have no wherewithal. You have abandoned all reason, all logic to get behind a doctrine of just Are we boomers? Like, is this really a thing? Because like,
I mean,
the show's supposed to. We started out Star Wars, and then we become more.
I mean, that's thanks to this crazy lady. We've divulged into other things that
this has now become like a culture war.
Social. I mean, that's just it. Culture is downstream from politics, right? So I mean, we're just talking about the culture that's going on right now. That's what's what the whole point to some of this.
I can make the argument
to defend our fucking culture.
I can make the argument. Well, because I'm a man and I have to work to support your ass and you buying all these things, and I should get paid more because I have to support you. And I'm the one that's at home. I'm the one that's working. You're the one that's home, so I should get paid more because of your laziness.
Wow.
Like I mean, that may not be like, but I'm saying that's.
Oh, you
almost
mean
like
for like
asinine
people
to
that
say-
just want? You're meaning for people that just like
No,
want
I'm saying like
reparations to
women
that.
who like if you're gonna make the argument that I'm a woman because I'm a woman, I should be paid more than a man. I could be like, well, if I'm married to you and you're a stay-at-home mom and I'm the one
Which
working,
is,
well, I
I
should
mean,
get paid more because I'm actually the one that's working to support you. Like
Wow.
it doesn't make like it doesn't make sense because it's so stupid. But that's like I'm trying to come up with like a counter argument to the fact that you think that you should get paid more because you're a woman. That
just
that
by
is
just by that virtue,
just by
yeah.
virtue of being a woman. Like I'm not saying that men should be paid more than women. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is you should not be paid more than a man because you're a woman.
Well, and they've done the studies on that too. Is that there's a different work mindset between men and women. Men tend to work more hours and stuff like
They
that. For
do.
certain
Jordan
things.
Peterson did this whole.
Yeah.
He got into this argument with some I don't know British
Old
lady.
Kermit the Frog.
Yeah, lady, and he had evidence, he had data, he had studies that showed that men work harder jobs than women, and that's why they get paid what they do.
Right.
And no woman, I'm not gonna say that, but I said some of these jobs I doubt that a woman would take.
Oh,
because
absolutely.
Either one, they don't want to do it, or they physically just it's laborious.
It's impossible. Well, yeah, that was like the thing people always point out and kind of joke about. It's like you have more of the men on oil fields, oil tankers, and stuff like that, doing those sort of jobs.
Listen, last time I
checked,
checked,
doing garbage work, doing sewer work, doing basically all of the trade jobs and stuff like that. A lot of those sort of professions are generally filled with men.
Let me tell you something. Last time I checked, when I went, because when you get to my age, you have to wake up, in the morning at 3:00 and take a piss.
Do it,
right?
folks. Hit that button.
Let's go. You have to pee in the morning about 3:00, right? When you get to my age, you have to wake up like 3 times. To quote, there's a quote on the Rocker. He's like, I have to get up 3 times a night to take a piss, right? So this morning I checked and I was a man, right? I'm not I am
You
not going to
was?
go out. Absolutely, 100%. I went to bed a man and I woke up a man. I'm not going to go lay railroad the railroad ties on the ground because of how laborious, just backbreaking that work is, right? And I'm a man, so
right.
I'll just say this: I have never seen a woman work on a railroad line. I could be wrong.
No,
but
and it's been kind of funny because anytime I've seen like road construction and stuff like that done, they tend to have the woman like holding the stop signs and then the slow signs for when they start moving traffic through and everything like that.
And that Rapinoe woman, it's so stupid. You are a soccer player.
Nerdy Neo says that the 3 times a night to take a piss line is from The Rock.
Yes, great movie if you haven't seen it.
That is a great movie. Fun movie as hell. An unofficial James Bond movie, as some people have said.
That's why I bark at people when the people at the mall try to sell me stuff. I bark at them because there's a line where he's like, it's on a need to know. He's like, who's Carla and why do you have to go to San Francisco? And he's like, that's on a need to know basis, and you don't need to know. And he goes, Ralph, and he's like, watch it, he'll bite you. It's a great movie. No, but like you're a soccer player. Like what? Like I'm not saying that like and she's not even that good, but you've been gifted a talent that because you're able to kick a ball into a goal, you think you deserve $1 million or millions of dollars. It's so. I just want to launch myself out. Just thinking about all this stuff, and then like it's just if you and I said the things that she just said, like we would be sexist, and it would like the why it's so it's like critical race theory. It's critical race theory. It's so absolutely stupid.
Variation of it, yes.
If I held one of my workers accountable, and one of my workers was Hispanic, and I'm white, I'm a racist because I held him accountable because my skin's white.
Yeah,
It's
how
so
dare you hold people responsible for their
Oh, I'm
for their
yeah,
responsibilities and their
for
job
their
duties and
actions.
stuff like
How dare I?
that.
How dare I?
Thank you.
But
Yeah,
if
responsible for
I'm
their actions.
white and
It brings a whole
my
new
boss,
dynamic. Yes.
but if I'm white and my boss is Hispanic and he writes me up, well, I deserve to be written up because I'm white and I'm the cause of slavery. So
Yes.
it's fine. It's
The
just
evil white male you.
It's and don't get me started on white privilege. That's whole. It's so stupid, and I don't understand how people can sit here and think and just eat it up. It's like the line from V for
It's
Vendetta. Did you ever watch
decade.
V for Vendetta?
It's
He's
been a
like
long time. I only
he said
watched
he.
it
I'm
once.
fine. Oh, all right. Filibus while I find it.
Oh God, I was gonna say. I mean, the reason why for some of them that are so believing it is because it's been decades of indoctrination through the schools. They've had these kids since they were, practically infants, in the school system that they've been, force feeding this sort of crap. So yeah, you do get some that are rebellious to it, thank God, but you do have a lot of them that have taken the Kool-Aid and are full bore on board. So
For
Nerdy Neo
sure.
said The Rock is the best Michael Bay movie. I'll agree to that. And freaking loves that movie. Yeah.
What did he say that again? What was the comment? I'm sorry, I'm trying to
Oh,
find
he just said the Rock is the best Michael Bay movie, and he freaking
Oh.
loves that movie. And then also said V for Vendetta is also fantastic. Just watched it again in November for the first time in like a decade. Yeah, it's been a really long time since I've watched it. I don't remember when I did. I just know that I did, but I just wasn't too just wasn't too grabbed by it.
You weren't because you didn't read the
It was
comic,
okay. I
did
mean,
you?
no, I did not. I don't even think I knew at the time that it was a comic book originally.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, I'll admit it. Didn't know it. I had watched the movie. And I was like, it's okay. Because I've never like kept it around on a rewatch thing or had it, So it did not stick with me. But maybe it'll be one of those things that I'll have to rewatch and check out. Which that reminds me, I gotta get back to my Bond marathon. I was on the
Which
Roger
one?
Moore.
Roger
I was
Moore?
on the I'd gotten through all of Connery, and I think Lazenby was one of them. There was a guy in between. But yeah, we got to Roger Moore. I just forgot what movie we were
Was
on.
it Dalton?
Dalton, I think, is after, sometime after Moore.
This is very frustrating because I should have. I don't know how to. I need to clip stuff. I gotta freaking. It's a fantastic movie, and I don't understand how you can't like. It's just great. All right, there we go. Is this it?
Yeah, Lazenby was the guy in between Connery and Moore.
Which is your favorite?
Dalton comes after Moore. Oh, Connery all the way. I was like the first one was good. They kind of replayed what becomes the James Bond theme a little too much, but otherwise very good movie. And then it was just kind of off to the races after that. I'd say when it got to the end, it was definitely like he's kind of showing
All right.
The age of it, but no, but yeah, I'd say definitely Connery's the GOAT for the Bonds.
All right, here we go. Hold on, stand by.
But I did like
Tell me if you
See.
can hear it.
Damn it! The son of a bitch sat there and spoon-fed me that bullshit, and I ate it up!
What was that from?
V for Vendetta.
Oh. Red Hoodwink says school is indoctrination daycare at this point. You aren't learning anything anymore. You are just being told how you should act. And I mean, that was creeping in even during the 90s for when I was in school.
Yeah.
If not already there, and I just was not. I didn't pay attention a lot in school, I'll be honest. I was not the best student in the system's eyes.
No, it is. I mean, it is indoctrination.
Oh yeah.
That's why, like,
Nerdy Neo says I didn't like V the first time I watched it, but I was expecting another Matrix. Fell in love with the movie the second time watching it. Oh, okay. Maybe that was where my expectations were too.
I think what's so great about it is, you know, it was a comic that when Alan Moore wrote it, like it was like you cannot, and nobody would ever write a comic, could not write V for Vendetta in this culture today. You'd be sent to the gallows because it's I don't know. It's politically
charged. Yeah, that might have been where I kind of that might have been kind of where I was like fading out, just because I don't always like. I mean, that's something I like paying attention to a lot. I was like, I like politics and everything. It's like I like the degree of I guess you could say escapism or whatever, but I just like, you know, kind of being detached from detached from reality for a little bit and just enjoying a good movie or a good video game or whatever.
Yeah, like politically charged is like
is prophetic. But I mean, I mean, that's kind of the thing. I like Godzilla, so. And the original is not shying away from that, especially.
Yeah, you need to watch it again. It's a great, but also it's like I don't believe in I don't know, it's called predictive programming. I don't know if you've heard about that. I don't know if it's a conspiracy. But do you know anything about programming? No. Have you ever heard this? So basically, predictive programming is the idea that the powers that be, the elite, release movies in the present time to show you what's going to happen in the future, if that makes any type of sense. So like V for Vendetta is a very politically charged movie, and I'm not saying that this is true, but I mean, I guess it could be in a sense, because you watch a movie and you're like, well, yeah, that's totally happening, or that's where the culture's going. But where you know the supreme chancellor, the chancellor who, you know, is elected in the UK as a conservative Christian, and then turns it into basically a police state, a totalitarian dictatorship. And it's the fall of, you know, it's like post-apocalyptic fall of, you know, you've got to watch the movie because it's so like when you look at it, like, and Alan Moore was a freaking genius, man.
Well, it's kind of that it is kind of taking those themes, and yes, also kind of like you say he's like brought in as, and well, the thing is too, like for the UK, they have a different
political
system. So saying conservative is kind of, well, I'm saying conservative is not necessarily
more moderate. They're
it's not saying the same for like it is over here, or at least the meaning for it. But I mean, even so, conservative Christian is the one that turns it into a totalitarian or to a police state and everything like that. That's their own. That's then their subversive attacks on the ideology, on the theology of Christianity, that anybody that follows that will, yes, you know, go full dictator, and so that's casting the negative on the end state. With the conservatism, they to them see as that being the people that will bring about those sort of things, and it's an attack form, a form of attack on those groups of people
Well, it's
that
so interesting about
have those ideological beliefs and stuff like that.
What's so interesting about the movie is because it's so Alan Moore was obviously British, and he wrote this comic, and it is America has fallen, the West has fallen, and Britain is now restored to its glory, and they're the only country that is prosperous, and the Americans are trying to send them tea for as peace offerings to try to trade with them. And it's just very interesting because, like I said, whether predictive programming is a thing or not, you look at it and it's like Britain is now the supreme power, and everything else has fallen. Like I told you, it's post-apocalyptic, and now it's a dictatorship. Everything is like the chancellor controls everything. Media, they've got they have the BCN, right, and that's the one news outlets, and it can allude to like the world world government, one world. Everything that
that kind of falls in line with them too, considering they have their one TV station, basically the BBC and everything, and they have their TV license and stuff like that. So
hearing a little bit about predictive programming, do you think it could be a thing?
I mean, like
the idea that the powers that be, the spirit of the age, the people who are running this country and this world, the evil powers, will release movies, because we know Hollywood is controlled by who? I believe, obviously, the devil saying like it's its own thing, right? But I believe Hollywood's evil, right? But like when you think about it, like
Nerdy says it's not post-apocalyptic, but it's dystopian, which I think that's a little more appropriate. Yeah,
probably.
It's post-apocalyptic would be like Fallout, like kind of like Fallout.
Okay, so dystopian, definition of dystopian. I'm showing my knowledge. I don't really. What is this? What is the definition of dystopian?
I mean, to get a proper definition,
yeah. That might be a better nerdy. Yeah, that might be probably better. Dystopians.
So, like, dystopia, a society characterized by human misery as squalor, oppression, disease, and overcrowding.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess you could still probably make post-apocalyptic. Well,
no, because it kind of has its own.
That'd be probably more Mad Max would be post-apocalyptic.
Yeah. Post-apocalyptic would be Mad Max. Yeah.
Okay, good. I appreciate that. Yeah. Okay, so not post-apocalyptic, but I guess dystopian would be better term. So I didn't know that dystopian, but that's why I said post-apocalyptic. But anyway, so yeah, it's really it's really, really good. It's a really good movie, but like I just wonder, like like I said, not being a conspiracy.
Well, like I see sometimes, like you say predictive programming, like the way I kind of interpreted it a little bit was like they put out these movies to kind of take your attention away from what they are doing. Yes. Like I guess predictive is meant to predict basically the future we're going to.
Like I
also see it though as like, because it's putting it in a movie, it desensitizes people to the idea. So
surely this can never happen, right?
Yeah, surely this can never happen. It's a movie. It's fantasy. It's it's fiction. It's
all I'm saying is when we see a bunch of iRobots going around,
because they kind of tap on that in Stargate with this thing called Wormhole Extreme, and they're like, oh, so like remember, so like we could use this to our advantage. Anytime somebody brings up the Stargate program, we'll just point to this Wormhole Extreme show and go, that's what you're thinking about. So it's like, oh, you're just a crazy person talking about a dystopian future. You're just talking about this movie or that movie, or a post-apocalyptic future, Mad Max. Oh, please, it's so ridiculous that could never happen.
Do you hear they're coming out with a new Mad Max movie or some type of it's a
Remember a Her?
Is that
Furiosa?
Yes. I never watched any of the Mad Max stuff, but is that a thing? I saw the preview when I went to go see.
The first three Mad Maxes are great. You have Mel Gibson in the lead role. The Mad Max 2 is the best one, or as it's known in the West, Road Warrior. But no, those are great movies. Third one's kind of campy. It's kind of campy and a little over the top, but like the second one is probably the best one and most referenced in like pop culture and stuff like that. So, but I mean, I'd watch them. They're great movies.
What's this Furioso? Because I saw the trailer as I was
So
watching the new
Furiosa
DC
came
movie.
from the Mad Max 4 Fury Road. This is that's a prequel movie, basically.
Really?
Yes, and they talked about this when Fury Road first was out. Yeah, witness me.
Yeah.
That's where. Yeah, that's that came
I
from
thought
the
it looked
Fury
stupid and
Road.
cheesy when I saw the
It did
preview.
not impress me any.
I thought it was like I saw it and I was like, female director.
Ooh, Nerdy Neo with a kind of hot take. Disliked Mad Max 2, liked 1 and 3 the best. Oh. You're a unique one, Nerdy Neo. I could dig it though. I can, I personally like 2. I like 1 as well cuz 1 is very kind of grounded, and I mean it is taking George Miller took from his experience as being I think he was an ambulance driver and saw car wrecks and stuff like that. So he helped. That's what helped put some of that into movie form. But it's a little more like 2 definitely gets it's kind of I'd compare it to like the Evil Dead franchise where it just kind of grows into like some extremes as it goes on. But like I personally I like 2 just for the kind of there's a lot of theatrics that goes on a bit. Lord Humongous I think is fantastic, a villain. He's this big freaking roided out muscle dude in a hockey mask, kind of proto Jason in that respect, but I don't know. I liked it a lot because that's also where you get kind of the iconic look for a lot more of the iconic look for Max. And then he has like I don't know. I personally and the only thing that kind of sucks is that his car gets destroyed so quickly. But I mean I personally I like 2. I like 1, 2, and 3. Just the first 2 definitely are my more personal favorites. 3, like I said, just gets a little too wacky tobacky. But I prefer those. I prefer sticking to those 3 than I like the soundtrack was good for Fury Road. It's just very kind of dodgy for some of the storyline stuff. And
I'll stick with Lethal Weapon.
Lethal Weapons are good. Those are good movies. Yes.
Stick with Lethal Weapon.
No, I
definitely never saw any of them though.
Be worth a check. Worth checking out.
Yeah. So, but I saw the Furiosa, so I was like, this looks dumb. Absolutely.
Oh no,
stupid.
that does look dumb.
Yeah, I'm like, come on.
No, I no doubts about that.
So I didn't know if you had heard of it or knew anything about it.
Yeah, I saw the trailer and it was kind of funny because on the full Aussie they kept replaying the damn thing, torturing Lethal Lightning with it because he was like, no, I'm not having any of this shit. So I thought it was pretty funny, but like that's like they kind of might have overplayed that trailer just a little bit, but it was not. I watched it myself and I was not seeing anything impressive. I don't see the point in this instance. This is really like I was never caring how they got things set up because it's just never been a question. Like even in Mad Max 2 and 3,
are they going to gender swap Mel Gibson's character?
I mean, they already actor swapped. They put Tom Brady. No, not Tom Brady. Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy, Bane, in the Max role.
So not gender swap yet.
No. Well, I mean,
thought that's what they did with Furiosa.
I guess she could be considered like a gender swap of sorts, just not actually in Mad Max, not taking over Max's role. She definitely talks more than Max. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Like, that's kind of the thing. Like Max, even in like the first movie and stuff, doesn't have very many lines. Like it's very dialogue light.
No. So that's what I thought. I was like, oh, Joel, this is the female version of Mad Max.
More or
And then,
less. More or less.
freaking Thor's in it too.
Yeah. Hemsworth. Yeah. He's playing one of the leaders of the different towns. I don't know which one he's supposed to be
Not
playing.
fat Thor though. He's now skinny Thor.
Yeah, he's back to being a Jack Thor. Huh. I was not expecting to see that when I opened up Twitter really quick. Yeesh. Okay. God, I had so many other things to go over, but we kind of diverged on Stargate.
I know. We have to prepare though. I have to know what
We
I'm
do.
doing. I don't know what I'm going into. I'm flying blind here, Fractured.
You are.
You could tell me this is
are.
the greatest show ever, and then I would just rather turn on Obi-Wan.
Let's not go psychotic here, okay?
I'm just saying. I'm flying blind here.
I know. I'm happy to help direct in whatever best way possible.
That general, well, you're not going to know. No, you don't. How many seasons of The Flash did you get into?
I only watched 2 seasons of The Flash.
Yeah, okay. You're not
I gave up because it's feeling too much of a high school drama bullshit. I want superheroes fighting. Come on, damn it.
Disrespectful.
It's true. It's what it was. It's a high school drama. You can't tell me I'm wrong. I mean, you could, but you'd be wrong.
From a certain point of view.
And not to mention the race swaps and that. And once I started learning some of that, I'm like,
did you watch the
you?
Obi-Wan and Anakin fight in was like 2160? The frames per second or what 260 frames? Yeah, there's it's a new it's like the new 1080p times 2 or something like that.
The only thing that I saw recently was Anakin and Obi-Wan's fight done in the style of the Clone Wars animated series.
No, it's
my buddy Das sent that to me. I'm like, oh my god. I don't see the point, but
it's 60 frames per second.
What does the heck gonna fucking change?
I don't know the high definition. I don't know. Hold on.
I was gonna say we have to find
filibuster real quick. So it's 2160p 60. I don't know what that is, but it's fantastic to watch it in.
This is Obi-Wan versus Anakin?
Yeah, from Revenge of the Sith. You look it on YouTube, but it's an amazing. It just so clear.
Is it what 4K or?
Yeah, well, it's in 4K.
4K 60 FPS.
Yeah. You can see the sweat on Obi-Wan's face, and it looks like he needs to fart when he's trying to tell Anakin that he's still loyal to the Republic.
Okay. I'm never sure on all of that. Thank you, Nerdy Neo. So 2160p is 4K.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
1440 is 2K. See,
I'm a boomer.
Like some of this stuff, I just feel like it's meme marketing, and it's just like, god damn it.
Boomer. I don't know these things.
I don't know which. I mean, I found some stuff, but I don't know what would
it's
be
just
better.
4K. I thank you, Nerdy Neo, because Boomer over here. It's just 4K, I guess, but it's just fantastic to watch. It's just one of the greatest fight scenes. I mean, this rivals Luke and Vader from Empire Strikes Back.
That felt very jarring when I just like threw it on too. Like,
really? Did you watch it?
I just like turned it on for like a second.
One of the best fights. But
no, the fight itself is fantastic.
You know, have you ever thought in the book, would their fight in the book match the fight on what we got on the movie? In the movie?
I mean, yeah, I'd say so. I think we were kind of missing some details that would have been pretty
like where he says shh. He puts
for Sheev and the Jedi. But I thought you were talking about Anakin.
Well, no,
versus
I am.
Obi-Wan.
No, for sure.
Yeah, Anakin versus Obi-Wan. The one thing I definitely think was an interesting detail was, and also showing just how well, they could think of trying to fight each other, was Obi-Wan using the Force to manipulate Anakin's cybernetic hand to release the lightsaber at a point when Anakin's trying to kill him.
But what about Dooku saying that he hired the Tuscans to kill Shmi?
Wait, where did that come in?
That was in the book, wasn't it? When he was fighting Anakin. Did he not say that? Yeah, he
didn't say that. No.
Yes.
No, I just recently listened to the Revenge of the Sith book.
You missed it.
I didn't.
Yes.
Chiefster, did you catch that? You're listening, right? Because wait, who said that? Was it Obi-Wan? Dooku?
Oh, Dooku said to Anakin. He hired the Tuscans to kill Shmi.
Hitman is saying that
Hitman is stating.
He's stating that in Revenge of the Sith that that Dooku told Anakin about hiring the Tuscans to kill his mother.
And that's why, in the fight.
During their fight.
Yes.
Chiefster's also saying no.
I'm going to find this.
It wasn't in there. So should we watch this really quick?
Play the movie. I'm going to find it in the book. I can't
Loading. Doesn't like everything I'm trying to do right now.
He so said it. That's why
he didn't.
No,
he did not.
Yes.
No. No, at best it would have been like lightly referenced in Attack of the Clones at the end when Dooku meets up with Sidious about their plans going the way they intended them to, and but they never outright say that they hired the Tuscans. Not even in the book.
John Jackson, or not John Jackson Miller,
You will not take it from me.
I don't know how well this is going to transmit over the stream, but like I'm looking at this and it's very weird on the eyes, the way the movement's going and everything.
I think it's great. Who've done that?
I mean, it doesn't take away. It's still the same scene. It's just.
Just wait until they start fighting.
Until now, you have become the very thing you swore.
I'm trying to make sure it doesn't get picked up too well. That's all.
No.
Here, let's kind of fast forward a bit.
Who's out there watching this? Who's watching our stream from Disney?
It's not even having to be Disney themselves or anybody like that. It's just the YouTube algorithm and AI that they have that tries to search this stuff out. Is always listening and watching.
Oh, so great. That's hard on your eye. I think it's just beautiful.
It's just kind of like Uncanny Valley-ish, where it just feels like it doesn't feel natural.
Why are you using big words? I'm a boomer.
Do I need to talk down to you? Or baby?
Just in his spin moves, just beautiful, man. And I don't know.
I mean, that's the benefits of them going through what?
Someone
years
said
of training
did this for 2 years.
2 years, and even Hayden was constantly training and doing the exercises and stuff like that. That's why even today, like he's still performing the movements like he just did it.
This is the weirdest scene. So
this is where in the book, this is where Obi-Wan does do the the lightsaber is in Anakin's robotic hand.
But okay, rewind it really quick, because Obi-Wan has, so unless I'm just an idiot and I don't understand this scene, so Obi-Wan's hand has his lightsaber right there.
Yeah,
right?
That's a goof. He has his lightsaber, and then it changes, it changes to Anakin's. They did a bit of a goof there.
And they released it. It's in the movie.
I mean, you only get so much time to cut things and edit and I'm surprised they didn't digitally edit it out, but it just might be one of those things that just wasn't missed or just wasn't caught. I mean, everything so much out there trying to catch so many other things that it's just like I said, just one of those things that gets missed. Like I said, like it's like around this point of the fight, like I would have liked to have. I don't know how, but then I guess that might have been kind of a challenge of trying to portray that on screen of Obi-Wan using the Force to, open up Anakin's cybernetic hand like that. Would have been a little tricky.
Not here.
Well, we just helped Nerdy Neo see a new detail.
It wouldn't be hard if you were a female. So I think if you rewind it, do you think Obi-Wan paused? Because I feel like Obi-Wan could have killed him right there, like when because he looked like he delayed.
In the book that does kind of get addressed that Obi-Wan hesitates in actually striking down on Anakin, and Anakin calls him out for his basically Jedi weakness. That if only if you knew this power of the dark side, you would have been able to cut me down. But it's
to quote Ray Shao, compassion is a weakness your enemies will not show. Or what does he say? He says like compassion is.
But then like eventually Obi-Wan says it's his reverence for life that keeps him from killing Anakin. And
well, I told you
he's a Jedi.
If I was Obi-Wan and my brother was Anakin, I told you I would have force pushed him into the lava.
I mean, that certainly would have been a more conclusive end to everything. You know for sure.
Absolutely. And then my brother would proceed to call me a dick. Or he said dick move. Now in this scene, I always wondered, is this because they're on equal power? Because Star Wars theory says Anakin is more powerful than Obi-Wan. But right there looks like they're of equal power.
I mean, they are two people that know each other the best. I mean, they are about on equal footing in terms of skill, and that's what it gets addressed in the book is that Obi-Wan is fighting a difficult fight because by all intents and purposes through raw
he's
power,
using form. What form is he using?
Through raw power, Anakin is the stronger person. Through skill and ability, Obi-Wan has the edge.
But what form? Whatever form he uses, it's where you're more of a deep.
He's more defensive. It's Sarisu, I believe.
Sarisu, yeah.
I believe it's Sarisu that is Obi-Wan's style
because he does a lot of parrying and everything.
And he's the master of Sarisu.
Yeah,
which it gets pointed out.
You're not using as much
he's
energy.
He's like you're not the master. You're not like a master of a defensive technique. You are the master.
Yeah. Because he uses less energy, like you don't get tired as fast because you're
right. He won't get gassed out as easily as like somebody, but like because the Gem So Form 5 that Anakin uses is a power.
I still would have loved to see Mace and Anakin fight when Mace uses
the only way you get to see that is if you played the PS2 video game.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like Mace using the pod against Anakin.
Right.
But he used the pod against Sheev and still, but there's the greatest debate who won. Sheev won. Hands down.
What was really going on in that fight? Was Sheev just playing cat and mouse with Mace?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He knew Anakin was going to change. And that's why I think we've talked about this over the years. That's why he sent Anakin off. He was hoping, that's why he sent Obi-Wan off. He wanted Obi-Wan to go off because he knew Obi-Wan would be the only one that could
potentially talk him down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, right in the nut shot. Oof.
And again,
it's like,
I mean, it's just kind of funny too when you think about it. Just like how this is all CGI. And it still holds up today, even with this like 4K yada yada.
That's what I'm saying.
It still looks good.
That's what I'm saying.
Like I said, it's just the camera work that just comes off as very unnatural to me. Like this feels.
I don't.
Just looking
see,
at it
I
feels
don't-
off.
I just think I don't know. Maybe we did agree to disagree, but oh,
I mean,
just-
everything
and the,
else
and the, and the
still just looks
soundtrack.
fantastic.
This
Oh no,
is
yeah,
probably one of the best soundtracks of just.
definitely for a
I
lot
don't know.
of Star
Shadows
Wars
of the
for
Empire
sure.
has a good. Shadows of the Empire has a good soundtrack.
It does.
Okay, do you remember having the poster when this came out, when they're fighting the?
I remember
where
seeing it, yeah, but I didn't
Like
have it. I
here.
wish I did. Yep. Right.
This
Boom.
scene right here, yeah. We got
Big lava fart cloud.
what is it? Shizor's Palace is a very good track.
Yes.
Probably one of my favorite tracks.
Well, just Shizor's theme, yeah, all that.
You and to listen to this from like with the London Symphony Orchestra doing it, oh, fantastic. I don't know if London Symphony Orchestra did the original, because if you look up the music, you can have like the original motion picture soundtrack, and then there's like I think the London Symphony Orchestra has done quite a bit of the work with John Williams, or vice versa.
Yeah.
Anakin should have died in this.
Great. Now
scene,
you just
though.
got me was watching this. God damn it.
No, Anakin should have died in this scene where where it falls off. Like there's no.
Well, there's apparently, I don't know if we went over that, but I've seen other people play this clip where, apparently there was the idea that both Hayden and Ewan McGregor came up with was that, and the Nicolas, they all thought it would be a much more maybe fitting way is if it was more of an accidental move and in ways of cutting down Anakin instead of that whole, I have the high ground Anakin.
Yeah.
But George shot them down, so they didn't go with their idea for it, which sounded like it would have been a little more of a plausible way of going about it. Definitely like how you can see it being, less an aggressive move from Obi-Wan as well.
Well, hold on. Did we talk about? Oh, so I don't know if we're talking about the same thing, but the
Shock, like I've said, it's lack of passion, and then also they did not have Nicolas choreographing the lightsaber fights in the later movies. He was not brought in at all. So
someone told me that the move that Obi-Wan did at the end of the movie, where so basically Obi-Wan does one strike and it cuts off his arm and his leg, or both his legs. Is like it was a forbidden move. I think OG touched on it, but maybe she did something. I remember reading someone had posted something about it, but apparently it's like a forbidden move, and it was very.
I was hearing more that it's like it was the whole scene setup was more in like Anakin was trying to be better than Obi-Wan in many ways, and this was one of them because he was trying to do the same thing but what Obi-Wan did to Darth Maul, because Obi-Wan, as we remember, jumped up from that vent shaft over Darth Maul, cuts him in half, wins. Anakin thought he could do it, but better. And that's where his ego and everything and his overconfidence, Obi-Wan tried to warn him, but he goes for it anyways, and the fate that happens. So it's kind of like him thinking that he could do better. But I mean, a lot of it's just headcanon. I don't think there's a definitive answer on him doing all that. Or like you say, a killing move or what have you.
Well, they call it Muay Kai. Is everyone used Moukei against Anakin on Mustafar? It says in Star Wars
Paul
Legends.
Hadoken, how's it going, man?
It says in Star Wars Legends, Muay Kai was described as a lightsaber move that struck multiple points of contact on an opponent, removing various limbs in the process, despite being explored in this way in Legends. A reference to Muay Kai is found in Star Wars canon.
Disney canon or
I don't know. It
Legend
says just
original
This
EU.
is a screen rant, so whatever.
It's
worth.
Yeah, fucking screen rant.
Well, this is just one of them, but it's on. If you Google it, there's multiple. It says
wait, spell it out. Spell it out again.
Moukei,
And then this one says use a forbidden move against Anakin in Revenge of the Sith. Was a cruel finishing move, not leave anything up to chance. What? Oh, it
I
says
feel like this is something new because
I don't know. Look it up. Let me know.
I'm not even getting like Wikipedia for this.
So you might have to type in Obi-Wan move on Anakin in Revenge of the Sith or something like that.
Oh, here we go.
It says Legends, and we know Legends is canon. Or Legends. You get anything?
Maokai, whatever, literally meant quote unquote to dismember. This was accomplished through a use of series of circular motion. Like, okay, so you were just reading that, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Although Obi-Wan had no other choice against Darth Vader, its usage by Jedi was forbidden given the many alternative marks of contact. Examples: Mokai is used by Obi-Wan against Darth Vader. Huh.
So is it?
It wasn't even mentioned. It wasn't mentioned in the novel.
No, I know, but that's where they've done multiple.
Because they say his first appearance is a Legend of Revenge of the Sith novelization. Star Wars Galaxies. They brought it up in Mount. Must have been one of the like moves or something for Jedi.
Yeah,
but I don't. It wasn't It wasn't mentioned in the or even in the audiobook. So
it's not a forbidden move.
I'm unaware of it.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense though because it's a pretty vicious. Because when you look at it, it's when I originally saw that move, I'm like, how many times did Obi-Wan like tag Anakin? And then when I read this and then I went back and they played it in slow mo, it's one swipe. It's one move that Obi-Wan's doing.
Yeah.
Kind of a dick move, if you will, but nonetheless, should have just cut him in half. I would have.
Yeah, but that could just be trying to over-explain something too that doesn't need explaining. Like it's just, I just looked at. I never thought of it as.
You tell me how you're gonna cut 2 legs and an arm.
I don't think you need some special cutting technique when you're slicing a dude up in midair, cutting him like sushi.
Are you gonna surgically remove your brother's 2 legs and an arm? I mean.
Oh, he probably killed me first.
Most people would just assume he's just gonna cut him in half like Obi-Wan did to Maul, but somehow was able to cut his legs and his arm off. Like I'm just saying,
Red Hoodwink says, but Disney does tend to mess with the EU tagged quote unquote legends. And I do see Maokai in canon saying, yeah, Maokai first appeared in canon in the audio play Dooku Jedi Lost. And then, yeah, this is in Legends. Maokai was the specific technique of severing several of opponents' limbs at once. So even that, like in that, it's not. It just says in Legends.
Well, here's the problem,
it's not saying specifically, other than yes, when you go to appearances for the Legends label.
Well, that's the problem because there's 2 canons according to a Disney. Well, we know there's only one canon. Disney shill will say there's 2. So it's like, which canon are you referencing? And that's why you need to say, if you're talking about canon, you need to say Legends, because Legends is the only canon. It's the canon, not your Disney canon.
I mean, I don't.
If that makes any sense.
No, I get what you're saying. I'm just like, it just seems kind of funny. So there's this special killing move. While the dude's in the air? Oh no, it says cutting several limbs off at once. I don't know.
Why not just pull a Sabine and force push him back into the lava? Like a 2-handed force push and then fart. Oh, what a ridiculous! You know why? Because that'd be ridiculous. Why didn't he just force push him in the lava?
Because I mean, the way it's explained in the novelization is that it's Obi-Wan basically leaving it for the Force to decide.
I'm aware. I'm just saying the Force.
But he assumes Anakin dies there.
Yeah, I would have just waited. You want some water?
Well, he wasn't about to wait when Sidious was just flying overhead. He's like,
I would have fought Sidious too. I'd be like, I just beat him. I'm about to beat you too. I just got my
And your
win.
overconfidence would have been your undoing, sir.
Your faith in your friends is your own. Or your faith in your friends is yours.
No. He didn't have a lightsaber. What was he going to use? His cane? He didn't have his cane yet. What's he going to use? He has no lightsaber. Lightsaber went out the window with
There's a reason why Yoda took on Sidious and not Obi-Wan. When Obi-Wan was like, "No, I'll go and I'll face Sidious." Yoda shot that down real fast.
I think.
And
that-
yes, like Red Hoodwink says, because he has to live for episodes 4 through 6.
Well, when you say that, Red Hood. No, I think that if Yoda had fought Palpatine on level ground, he still would have got his teeth kicked in.
Well, that was the whole revelation that Yoda discovers, right?
He's like, I'm fighting somebody who's actually really, really good. Yes, this is the same guy that didn't carry a lightsaber to mock the Jedi. Is that what you said? You made that point.
He carries the lightsaber to mock the Jedi.
to
yes.
mock the Jedi. Yeah,
Yes.
that's why when you play Battlefront, he doesn't have a lightsaber. I think it'd be cool if he did have a lightsaber in Battlefront. By the way, just saying.
Oh, I'm surprised they didn't give it to him. Yeah.
No, he just has Force lightning.
So, hang on. There was an article that Static in particular wanted me to bring up for you. So here it is. Just to kind of a sloppy segue, but and also let me just touch on this really quick. Red Hoodwink said, "I'd say it's because you're slicing the limbs off and leaving them there to wiggle around helplessly. But if it doesn't say anything about it, But then, like you said, he then pointed out, he has to live for 4 through 6. Anyway,
I know. I'm just saying.
Anywho, so get this: police investigating first case of girls' virtual gang rape in metaverse.
Gang rape?
Well, because if you try and say that word on YouTube, it doesn't always fly properly.
Oh, gang rape. Oh, I got you. I thought, okay. I didn't know that. See?
Yes, we are apparently now getting metaverse sexual assault cases. And yes,
I'm done. I'm done with the internet.
It says, "Oh, sure, blame me." You do I have to get your words directly, sir? But yes, British police are investigating the alleged gang rape of a girl's avatar in a virtual reality game in what is believed to be the first probe of its kind involving the metaverse. The alleged victim, identified only as a girl under 16, was wearing a virtual reality headset in an immersive game when her avatar, an animated representation of her, was raped by those of several men, the Daily Mail first reported. Although the accuser did not sustain any physical injuries, she may have suffered trauma similar to someone who had been raped in real life. Police sources told the outlet, quote, "There is an emotional and psychological impact on the victim that is longer term."
Is this like Sims?
I believe so. The whole metaverse thing, I think it's kind of like Sims, like, probably, yeah. But yeah, so victim that is longer term than any physical injuries, a senior officer familiar with the case told the outlet. Still, UK authorities fear it might be impossible to prosecute under existing laws, which define sexual assault as physical touching in a sexual manner without consent. Yes, and that's the way it should be. Because then you're starting to stretch things to digital, which is already a very odd space as it's digital. There's no physical. Keep kids off of the internet, for God's sake.
This is not a thing. You're taking the piss.
No, this is
a
so.
This is a
The
Photoshop.
investigation has raised questions about whether police should be using time and limited resources to investigate metaverse crimes while struggling with a substantial backlog of in-person rape cases, and especially in the UK. You guys got plenty of other problems to deal with in this sort of real life crimes because of people that have been imported to your country. Maybe you should clean that up first before worrying about some digital space that you can unplug. But Home Secretary James Cleverly defended the trailblazing VR grape probe. Quote, I know it is easy to dismiss this as being not real, but the whole point of these virtual environments is they are incredibly immersive. The senior politician told LBC's Nick Ferrari at breakfast program. Further quoted, and we're talking about a child here, and a child has gone through sexual trauma, he added. It will have had a very significant psychological effect, and we should be very, very careful about being dismissive of this. Cleverly also argued that some willing to grape a child's avatar in a video game, quote, may well be someone that could go on to do terrible things in the physical realm. There are legitimate child trafficking issues going on in the real world. The virtual, again, is not the place you are clearly not needing to worry about in the immediate moment, when also, again, maybe they shouldn't be playing these things or on these things without some parental supervision to prevent these situations. Because I mean, last I knew, like they can project them on the screens, right? I know people will do live streams of this shit. So yeah, just
make your kids play outside.
There you go. Get a bike, go outside, but focus on.
I never got assaulted by a rock when I was a child.
What was once upon a time ago? I wish I still had the tweet. I remember saving it because it floated around as a screenshot. But it was talking about the cyberbullying. Going, what are you talking about? All you have to do is turn this shit off and go outside. It literally means nothing. And that basically encapsulates it. You can turn this shit off, walk away from the screen, and not have to deal with it. And also understand there's a separation, especially within video games, versus the fictional fantasy world and real life. Fictional fantasy world, real life. There's a separation, folks.
Yeah.
Ian Critchley, the lead of child protection and abuse investigation at the National Police Chiefs Council, echoed Cleverly's words, telling the Mail that the metaverse creates a great way for predators to victimize children. Again, eliminate it in the real world, you'll by default eliminate it in the virtual. Critchley highlighted the need for the continued evolution of policing methods to address crimes being committed online and for the passage of relevant laws. And he also called on tech companies to do more to keep their users safe. Parents should be doing more to keep their kids safe, to keep their kids away from certain things. Parents, try parenting for once. Setting some boundaries, setting some rules. Stop maybe allowing your kids to have every freaking new device in the goddamn world. Limit their activity. Hell, the Chinese government basically does that. Take some cues, I guess. Limit their time to like an hour or whatever and know their specific. There wasn't a video game that I played as a kid that my mom didn't at least observe and see what we were playing for a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And also made sure my brother and I understood the video game is fantasy. You live in the real world. The minute the real world, crosses over with it and you start repeating that shit that you see, you're going to have trouble. So
Yes.
very common sense sort of shit, right? Unless this is just me thinking it's common sense. I don't know.
Like you're playing GTA 5 and
Well, that's actually another thing. Yes. But let me just finish this really quick. There have been several reports of virtual sex crimes in Horizon Worlds, a free VR game operated by Facebook's parent company, Meta. A senior police investigator told the Mail that the metaverse has become rife with online sex crimes and other types of offensives, including virtual thefts. But so far, there have been virtual thefts. Fucking again, like you were just about to say, GTA. God, this is basically like setting up for thought crime. What was the Tom Cruise movie where they dealt with that?
Minority Report.
Minority Report. For prosecutions in the UK, Meta did not immediately respond to any requests for comment Tuesday. And this is the other thing too, because this is basically like a new version of when illustrious writer who was going to be on Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic to help rewrite the game, but was supposedly assaulted in GTA. I don't know if we ever talked about this on here. But yeah, there was. Hang on, I'm just trying to stop it. All right. But yes, once upon a time ago, there was the GTA 5 quote unquote virtual rape case. And also they were still trying to lump in Gamergate at the time, apparently. Or at least that's what was also tagged at the top.
Rewriting code to simulate sexual assault. Shauna Hunt is live with the disturbing reality of virtual rape. Shauna.
Watch, we're
well,
still
Roger, in the
hit.
world of gaming, modifying characters is actually a common thing, but these cases are extreme. These hackers, they're taking control of games being played online, and they're staging these violent attacks, and the scenes are so disturbing, we had to blur the image.
Yes, Red Hoodwinked. It's that same person, Sam X. Yes.
Just
online, they can take your character.
And here she is. This was the lady that was going to be writing for Knights of the Old Republic.
Sam Mags.
And she's been on other projects. Spider-Man 1. The newest the relaunch of Spider-Man on the PlayStation 5. Once I started finding this shit out, it was especially where I saw the holes in that fucking game. And I didn't go near the second one. Also because I didn't have a PS5. But this bitch right here.
Lock them in place.
What's that?
Who is it? Who is this?
Sam Mags. She's a gamer and a blogger.
Made their character pantsless and then can simulate sexual assault with your character, and you are helpless to stop it.
The graphics
turn the game off. Very simple.
are so good. This attack is eerily realistic, but this is
such realism. the traffic cone and everything.
virtual rape, hackers rewriting codes and hijacking online video games like Zombie Apocalypse and Grand Theft Auto. The vile scenes are then posted to YouTube.
That's deplorable and should not be allowed anywhere. Like they should.
No, Shock, different. I don't believe this one's a part of the Manatee crowd. So no, not the same. That's a different one, I believe.
Should be banned off the servers immediately.
And Sam Meggs, an avid gamer and blogger, tells me in some cases these hackers, also known as modders for modifying the game, will talk to victims on their headsets during the attacks.
Wait.
I'm pretty sure that's a PS2 controller. Maybe it's a PS3 controller. I don't know. Looks like a PlayStation 2 controller to me.
During the attacks.
When you can hear the person on the other end who's saying these things directly to you and they're saying them directly to you, that's a whole other level of harassment.
Again, you can
Turn the
mute
game
people.
off.
You can mute the people, you can mute the in-game audio, you can turn the fucking game off on top of it all. But yes, like I was saying this before, even I think on Static Show, this is we're seeing a repeat of this. Basically, this is the whole metaverse thing is just the 2.0 version of this nonsense. So yeah, turn the fucking games off if there's such a problem.
As stupid as like I play Grand Theft Auto 5, somebody steals my money or kills me and steals my money, and I sue Rockstar because they stole $15 from me, and I'm traumatically,
They blew up my digital car. You owe me reparations.
No, seriously, it's like, hey, I bought a shark card for $59, and I had all this, I had $1 million worth of money, and they killed me and took my $1 million. So you owe me $1 million. It's so stupid.
This is the society we have built up.
Yeah. Turn the game off. It's like Xbox moderating game chat. It's like,
yeah,
turn your mic off, or don't turn off party chat.
Turn your mic off, turn off the chat, block the people, mute the people. All the power is in the person's hand.
I don't know. Let's just go back to our philosophy when we were kids. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever you say to me
bounces off of me and sticks to you. Or just mouth off better to them than they are to you.
Or I don't know. Remember your time in a Modern Warfare 2 chat lobby. Newsflash: people aren't gonna like you, so like just get used to it.
Well, and also people are gonna find natural ways to break games and screw around and mess with other people's times, perhaps. But it's like you just gotta know when to turn things off and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
And hey, now they do have a means of which you can basically create private servers in GTA Online. So
yeah,
that made it really nice for my brother and I to play.
This is ridiculous. The society of just
bunch of mamby-pamby pansies out there.
Turn the game off. Problem solved.
Simple as that. Going back to the top here, just OMG from Red Hoodwinked. Pathetic. Says Nerdy Neo. Yeah, Red Hoodwinked. Why are parents letting their kids on VR chat? Exactly. But this, it's like I remember back in the day getting into online chat groups all the time. And I was like 14, 15, so on.
Yeah.
Nerdy Neo, this is a Babylon B article, right? Right? It's real. Red Hoodwink, no, the police should not get involved. This is the parents' responsibility to watch their kids are doing online. Thank you. I don't feel so crazy. Concrete always assaulted my knees when I was a kid. Yeah, Concrete always assaulted my all that damn falling down, damn it. Scraped knees, torn jeans. I'm pretty sure that Concrete from the city owed my mom some money. Shock thing. It took a lot of work to sneak in an M-rated game by parents. LOL. I like it. I was very fortunate. My mom was very liberal in that regards of letting us play games that we wanted to play. But like I said, she also made the rules very clear on what we were playing and what we were to do and not to do. In terms of, like I said, you don't repeat those things in the real world. You can play them to your heart's content in the stupid virtual world, but again, once you start doing that outside of there, that's when you start having trouble and you start losing your privileges of playing those video games. And one is real, one is fake. So don't be a dumbass. My words, not hers. Oh yeah, okay. Skipping ahead a bit, there are no games on PlayStation to get a PS5. I'll agree. Although, yeah, I guess Nerdy Neo points out Ghost of Tsushima. I'm still waiting for that to hit PC. I could have sworn that was supposed to happen. God dang it. Yeah, that's where Shock he says I was gonna say the Tranny Mags writes comic books. Yeah, that's where video games, comics. Although I think this chick might have also done comics as well. She's gotten around. Play Ghost on PS4. That's true. Let's see. Love that game. And that is. Hello, Mr. Self-Destruct. How's it going? Nerdy Neo saying, okay, gotcha. But if you don't have a PlayStation, you'd probably get a PS5 or a PS4. I still have my PS4 as well, but it's just been kind of sitting there collecting dust. +1 reparations. Yep. Red Hoodwinked. She needs to stay away from games that requires you to play with others. Yeah, stick to the. It's like, ladies, stick to the single player games. Or just glue a bitch like. Oh my word. Private servers are the present and the future. I mean, it's a good way to go about it. And then if you want to make that choice to join the general public, you absolutely can. Then you are making that choice to go into that area. It's kind of like us making the choice to be online to, do a live stream where we are then, putting ourselves out there to receive comments, positive or negative. Quote, put the controller down and step away from the game. They're talking to each other. Hope Ghosts come to PC too. Yeah, I thought it was supposed to be. God dang it. Can't wait for Ghosts again on PC when it comes out. And I mean, can only imagine the kind of like HD mods and stuff like that that'll come about for that. So that'll be really nice.
Wasn't the same Mags the one that was trying to do the story about Obi-Wan being bi?
Yes, I think she was.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me look that up.
I'm pretty sure.
She a recurring writer for Star Wars Adventures. Whatever the hell that is. Wrote Luke on the Bright Side in 2022, short story collection, stories Jedi and Sith. Mags worked as a writer for the forthcoming Star Wars Knights of the Republic remake. Later left the project in November 2021. Her Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor tie-in novel. She did the tie-in. That's right. And then Jedi Battle Scars was released. That is another. That's the Jedi Survivor tie-in book. I thought she did do the Obi-Wan book. I guess
I thought she did too.
No, so it's just the Jedi Battle Scars. Luke on the Bright Side, which maybe that was them turning Luke bi.
I thought there was one story about Obi-Wan being.
There is a book where they do that. Yes, that is a book, but I don't think that this
because it says Obi-Wan or something like that.
No, that wasn't the title of the book.
That was okay. Was that not? Well, no, but it wasn't the title. But yeah, that's where that was trending. Obi-Wan or something.
Yeah, no, that was like it's supposed to be Obi-Wan's Padawan days.
Yes, yes.
And yeah. I thought maybe this was where they were trying to do that with Luke, but I don't know. I'm not seeing anything on it
They
exactly.
probably tried.
Oh, I'm sure they have.
Let's see.
Mr. Self-Destruct says some games like Space Cowboy or whatever the original title was now only available on private servers. Fun shit, horribly monetized game, which killed itself though. Yeah, there are a few of those like free-to-play sort of games that do that to themselves. There are private private servers, even for like World of Warcraft that are out there that you can play. But then there's like, you know, the emulated servers for Star Wars Galaxies, bunch of them for freaking Galaxies. I wish somebody would put together a proper Matrix Online emulated servers. That would be great. I'd love to play that again. But unfortunately, they always make fictional men bi so they can get away with making them gay. Yeah, pretty much. It's the subversive way of just saying they've made him gay now. Yeah. Oh, bisexual one. Mr. Self-Destruct says, sorry, just got home pretty, but don't worry about it. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, they have him say something about the man he's trapped with in a cave on Hoth. Oh, God. So there it is. There it is.
The Wamba?
The Wampa?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Stupid.
Oh, definitely stupid. But yeah, I think that's a good point. I wanted to get into a few more things, but since we started kind of late, I think we'll call it here.
Yeah, it should be the same. We should be. I should be better next week. Yeah. But
Okay, good.
are we
are
we doing live? Well, we'll talk more.
We'll
about
talk about the Stargate thing, but one way or another, we will start reviewing it next week. We're going to start with the movie, Stargate the movie, next week. We may or may not do a watch party for it. We'll see what we can work out. But stay tuned. And again, for people that want to talk some Stargate and stuff like that and want to join us for the reviews of the movies, if you
it'll
want,
be an 18 show palate cleanse. I don't know. We can't do a season of shows, so it's gonna have to be. I don't even know how that works out. If we
we'll figure it out. But
we
we'll
gotta
figure
find
out
something on like the essential.
Well, no. For a first time watching, you got to watch all the episodes. We'll have to actually go through all of them.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll maybe have to do like a couple of episodes on a stream
A week.
Yeah. We'll figure it out, and I'll be putting out all the information. And yeah, Nerdy Neo, I'll let you know if we do any like watch parties and stuff like that for Stargate. And like I said, for people that are interested that want to maybe join us, we could do that too. Let's talk some Stargate. And just relive the glory of that franchise.
Of Adolfo.
Adolfo, yes. But so yeah, keep an eye out for that information. Also, I will be I gotta kick my ass, get into some more streaming, do some more gaming streams. I gotta get back to Knights of the Old Republic. Because I'm practically at the end of the game. I'm just finishing up. I got to finish up Korriban. I got killed, didn't save my game, so I have to redo a lot of shit. So I'll have to reserve that for like a full day of doing that.
Yeah, you haven't played it in a long time. I haven't watched.
I know.
Yeah,
I kind of took like the end of the year off and stuff, and the start of this year. I kind of, after the whole holidays for work, I was just kind of like I needed the full 2 days off.
Yeah.
Of just doing nothing, and it felt good. but I will be getting back to it. I know Wednesday, Static, if you're still there, we were going to do Sea of Thieves, although I know the debates are coming up. So I know he and Shock, we're going to be possibly covering that, but keep an eye out for that. But regardless, in the mornings, I gotta really start like making schedules and just committing to it proper. But yeah, we'll be getting to that. Hitman, are you gonna be trying to do your own streams or what's up?
Well, I'll get with you. I'm on vacation this week, so maybe we can do some stream.
Okay. Oh, cool. Yeah.
So I'm on vacation, and I've got my Steam card, so I'm
How
ready.
dare you.
We just got to get whatever game.
Sounds good.
Because I said my Twitch is everything's. I mean, my OBS, my Twitch are all connected. I think. I mean, you helped me set it up, so I'm assuming it's all connected. So
You should be all good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He says, yeah, trying to figure out what to do Wednesday. All right, cool. Just let me know. And yeah, so he said, great. Remember Stargate watch parties. He says, no, in the Red Hoodwink said, no, in the novels, he gets trapped somewhere on Hoth with a rebel, and Han and Leia have to save him, I think. He hates that he remembers that. Thanks for stream, guys. Trapped in a man's cave. Pretty on the nose. Oof. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for being here. Much appreciated. Here's to 2024 and more years to come for us doing this live stream. We're looking forward to it all. And with that, where is that? Off with you. Off. There it goes. Dang it. There we go. Anywho. Peace out, everybody. Have a good one.
Peace.
What is thy bidding, my master?
Yeah, I should have known from the very beginning. From what you said. Yeah, when the mega powers were formed. Yeah, what you were out for from the very beginning. Yeah, you were after what was mine. I remember what you said.
You can destroy the Emperor. Join me. Together, we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Yeah, that one was rough. Those words right there. Yeah, I got stuck, yeah, but I swallowed it anyway. Didn't like the taste, but I swallowed it anyway, yeah. But I remember the time when there was a conquistador out of the ring, the one that's so jealous that he can't stand it, yeah. Yeah, you came in there with your poses, yeah, but you made a big idiot out of yourself, yeah. And speaking of idiot things, what about that stupid idea? Did you forget that one? Think back. That right there sealed your fate. Yeah, it put the madness over the edge. But I'll tell you what felt even better, yeah, was in the dressing room, in the first aid room. Me being unselfish, yeah, said go ahead, do the thing, yeah. You won't steal my thunder, no. When you take a look at the madness's eyes, all you're gonna see is complete and utter brain.